What's up, heathens? How y'all doing? I am the Godless Engineer, and I'm here with Born Again Atheist. I've been watching Born Again's lives on TikTok there, and she does a fantastic job every night. And we're here to take your calls tonight. I'm going to let Born Again sort of introduce herself to everybody here in a second, but I do want to implore people to call in. The number is 720-619-2288. If you want to defend God against being evil, which I think that, God definitely is evil. We could bring up several different topics in that particular area. But if you don't think that God is evil and you want to argue against us, please consider calling in. The number is 720-619-2288. Or there is a web link in the description, but only use that if you're calling from outside of North America. Otherwise, you're going to be asked to call in with your actual phone there. So, Born Again, how you doing tonight?
I'm fabulous. I'm so excited to be on the line. Thank you for having me, Godless Engineer, aka John. Hi guys, Born Again Atheist, and I have loved this show for so many years. So the fact that I'm on here tonight is like a dream come true. I'm excited, and I love yelling at mugs. Those are men of God. I love yelling at men, so it's gonna be a fun night. I'm really excited.
Yes, I think it's going to be great too. Now, we do actually have some people that's already called in, but you've kind of been doing this for about a year over there on TikTok, right?
A little over a year, maybe like a year and a half now at this point.
Okay, yeah, and so how do you feel about like the conversational sort of debate sort of space here? Are you enjoying it, or can it be a bit like getting burned out a little bit?
Debating in general.
Debating or just dealing with the same, I guess maybe the same arguments or whatnot. I know a lot of people they feel like it's beating a dead horse, so like they want to
Sure.
move on to something else, but I'm
Sure.
kind of curious how you feel about it.
Honestly, I think the topics, especially because I use God's Not Evil a lot as a debate topic of mine, I think it's so important to talk about, especially in the political climate we're in. Where I feel like we're under our own 2025 Nazi regime, here in America. We're getting taken over by a dictatorship. So it's really important to talk about, is God evil? And if that's the case, then yeah, that makes sense why 85% of the religious vote went to Trump this past election season with all this shit going on. I think it's really important to expose how evil this God is. And so to have conversations regarding, hey, did you know your God kills like more kids than adults, right? I think that's an important conversation to open up. So as much as it could seem repetitive, like for me in my brain, I think it's really important to talk about the topics of how evil religion is or God. So that's just my opinion. I know people change their prompts a lot. I kind of don't. I just feel like this prompt is really important for right now, at least.
Oh yeah, I totally agree, especially with the latest Nazi stuff that's been going on. Today
Mm.
it's been a bit hell today. I
Yeah, it's
mean,
horrible.
Trump went full Hitler. It seems like
He did. Yeah.
taking his version of Poland, which would be Venezuela.
Ugh,
So that's
God.
and I've actually had people push back on me on that, being like, "Are we occupying it? It's not really Did he say that we annexed it? It's like by all legal definitions, yes, he annexed
Yes, absolutely.
it."
Like Jesus Christ. And like, I'm sure little bits and pieces of Nazi Germany wasn't always like, 6 million unalived or Jewish people were killed or 6 million victims were killed. It wasn't always that number, right? It was always these little things that led up to it until it just got too out of hand, and then we just don't know what to do. And I feel like that is what we've been dealing with the past like decade. It really feels like
Yeah.
horrible.
Uh, okay, so we do have two people in the queue right now. Great topics directly dealing with the title,
Perfect.
so definitely want to get to that. I do want to implore anybody that's in the side chat right now and you're a Christian and you think, my God's not evil, he's great, then definitely call in. The number is 720-619-2288. We would like to get some more callers lined up for us to talk to, so really try to formulate your arguments first and then call in, and we'll get to you, okay? So I believe first, if you're ready to jump in, there, Born Again. You ready to go?
Oh, yes. Sorry. Yes,
No, you're
absolutely.
fine. All right, so we're gonna jump to Jack over there in California.
Hello.
What's up there, Jack? How you doing?
Hey, what's up, man? I'm doing very good. How about yourself?
Doing all right. All
You're
right,
good.
so it says that you want to argue that evil is actually evidence for God.
Yes.
I guess so this would be kind of like a counter argument to like the problem of suffering or something like that.
Yes.
Okay. Well, why don't you lay out your logic here for this first, and then we'll start interacting with it.
Okay, so first we just have to agree that this like argument that you're going to try to run is like an internal critique, and that's just to say that you're going to be assuming that like the thesis of classical theism, you're going to try to find inconsistencies with it, and the inconsistencies would mainly just be there's suffering, but there also exists this all good agent. So I just want to make this clear. So in the thesis of classical theism, God is going to be uniquely unique. That's just to say anything which is true of God cannot be true of any other thing, and obviously God is all good. That's just to say nothing else can be all good other than God. So obviously, if we see evil in the world, which is going to be a deprivation of good, and that would just entail that theism is actually more likely because theism predicts that there's going to be evil, right?
Okay, that was a lot. I don't know, Born Again, what are your thoughts so far?
Wait, what's your position? Are you saying that like God can't be good and evil, or he's both good and evil? Like, dude, you fucking lost me. I'm sorry, I'm falling asleep over here.
So what I'm pretty much trying to say is, if classical theism is true, then God is going to be uniquely unique. And uniquely unique just means anything which is true of God can only be true of God and no one else, right? And obviously God is all good, which would just entail that everything else can't be all good. If everything else can't be all good, then there will always just be some evil in the world.
I heard your definition. I'm asking what you think about it, because you're giving me a textbook definition. What do you think? Because you said, well, if they think this, then this, and then if they think this, then this. No, I want to know what you think. Get to the point.
Yeah, this is actually what I think. If I think we put this into like a probabilistic formulation, we can actually see that, you know, God predicts evil and we see evil, therefore God like probably exists. That seems to be like true of most things, right?
Well, so do you think that nature doesn't predict like evil or bad things? Like, do you think that that's deficient in the naturalistic, argument?
I'm not an essentialist. I don't even hold to nature's like. Wait, when you say nature, are you talking like the philosophical sense or just like the natural world?
I mean, I'm talking about like naturalism.
Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure this argument's supposed to be an internal critique. So why are we talking about naturalism?
I mean, you're trying to force us into an internal critique, but you haven't really defined any kind of aspect of God other than he's omnibenevolent. And I mean, are you arguing for like the Christian version of God, or are you trying desperately to cling to some kind of like vague theistic claim? Well, a vague theistic claim doesn't necessarily entail like omnibenevolence.
I'm saying my version does. And you're okay. So just to clarify, the problem of evil is always just going to be an internal critique because you're trying to say that like evil is inconsistent with this God's existence. That's just to say that it's like almost informalizable, right? There's no model in which this can be satisfied such that there exists evil and also there exists this all good being, right? You're just trying to say those two things are internally inconsistent, right? Both things. No,
I'm saying your entire definition is incoherent.
A definition can't be incoherent. Definitions aren't truth thefts.
You can't have an incoherent definition. Like that's an actual thing.
When you say incoherent definition, are you using coherence in what sense?
Are there multiple senses of coherence? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, so you can have coherence. Yeah, so you can have coherence within like some form of like justification within epistemology. You can also have like coherence theory of truth, where you just say like X is true if and only if it coheres within some web of other things that you believe. And coherence within justification would just be like there exists some X, right, such that X guarantees T and T guarantees X. Thus, those two beliefs are consistent with each other. And if they're consistent, then they're coherent and then they're justified, right?
Did we get transported to an algebra class?
I'm sorry. I'm so brain rotted right now. I don't think this guy knows what he's talking about. So
I know exactly what I'm talking about. Can you name one thing that I got incorrect?
Okay, I don't know what God you serve. I don't know what position you hold. I feel like you're just reading classical theism. So what is that? Is that like
classical theist.
You like believe in every god? You just like believe in all the daddies?
No, classical theism would just be the thesis that, well, there's a few theses, but mainly the main thing is like immutability. He has all the omni properties. he's atemporal, aspatial, and he's all good. Of course, that's just going to.
So isn't it just like a creator? It's not the Christian God. It's not Islam. It's just the creator, right?
There's more to it, but yes, if by creator you just mean it actualized the potency. And
I mean, you don't have a textbook. You don't have a religion to base this God off of. You're just making him up. He's a DIY God. Why didn't you just say that at the beginning? Then you could have spared us all the brain rot.
There's this thing called natural theology, and natural theology is the type of God that we come through reasoning, right? So I'm not just DIYing this. I think this makes the most sense, right?
How does it make the most sense? What's your proof? What's your proof of classical theism?
Yeah, so
that there is one God, and he happens to not be Yahweh. He happens to not be Islam. He happens to not be the Hindu gods, and he happens to not be Buddha. What is he? How do you know he's real? What's your proof?
Yeah. So the reason I think he's real is because I think there's a multitude of successful arguments for his existence, right? Or maybe just the existence of like. Yeah, so you're just asking me to give a sound argument for his existence? Yeah, so I can just say, like, it's possible that an MGB exists. It's possible that he exists in at least one possible world. If he exists in one possible world, he exists in all possible worlds, therefore he exists within reality.
Wait. He exists because you made him up. Okay, so this sounds like Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends. These little kids make up their little friends, and then they put the friends in a foster home. I mean, he's just like, God is real because I said he's real. Huh? That's not proof.
Can you reject one of my premises? I gave a deductively.
He goes, God is real because I said he's real. And I say what I say goes.
I gave a deductively valid argument. Can you please reject one of the premises?
Does he make you feel special inside? Be honest.
What are you doing right now? Are you okay? What are you doing?
No, because you said he makes you feel good. Because if you believe he's real, he's real. I mean, that is some beautiful imagination.
I never said that, by the way. I never said that, by the way. You
literally said that. And that when I said explain classical theism, you said because I want him to be real, he's real. That was the funner version of what you said.
No, I gave an argument, and let me just clarify without you being disrespectful. I don't know why you're being so disrespectful, right?
Oh, wait.
But what I said is...
Wait, sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to be disrespectful about your imaginary friend. Go ahead. My bad. I'm sorry.
Okay, yeah. You're very rhetorical, and you're also very smart, right? So what the argument is saying is it's possible, right, that a maximally great being exists. And if it's possible, then he exists in one possible world. If he exists
godless engineer. Did I not just say that?
Yeah, you did. You definitely did. So I think you're falling prey to the possible, therefore probable fallacy here. I mean, you're claiming like any. No. I know that you didn't say it. That's because you don't know. You don't know that particular part of the logic here. So just because something's possible doesn't mean that it's. Right, I get that as modal logic. I understand modal logic, but what I'm saying is that you say that if this God is possible in all worlds, then he definitely does exist. But you can't go from a possible to a probable. You need to establish that he's probable. I know you didn't say that. That's the problem with your statement.
No, I'm not even implying that. I'm not even implying that.
Yes, you are.
Sorry.
What? So let's try to define this. Hold on, Jack. Let's try this. Can you define what a maximally great being is? What does it mean to be maximally great?
Yeah, a being which is only instantiated by positive properties, and a positive property is just a property which the being would be better off if it had.
Is this Gödel's argument?
This isn't Gödel's argument. I'm using positive property in the same way Gödel uses it, but no, it's not Gödel's argument. It's Alvin Plantinga's argument. But Alvin Plantinga does build off Gödel.
Okay. I mean, both of those are bullshit arguments, and they fall in line with what Born Again exactly said. It's a DIY kind of God where you're just making up your own definition here, and you're playing with
all definitions
possibilities. You're playing with possibilities instead of. Please don't make me mute you. Unlike TikTok, I can mute you and you will stay muted. So you're just playing with definitions here, and you're also just moving from possibility to probability without establishing why it's plausible. Like, why is this God plausible to exist?
Okay, so I'm going to give you a syllogism. Reject a premise of the syllogism instead of going on these silly red herrings because you're not tracking, right? So what the argument is it's possible
I'm the problem
that
here.
Yeah, okay, let's track. All I'm saying is it's possible that a maximally great being exists. And a maximally great being is just the semantic content that I described to it, right? I just described to it. If it's possible, then he exists in at least one possible world. If he exists in one possible world, he exists in all possible worlds. And that's just true via theorem B within S5, right? Therefore, he exists within reality. Which premise are you rejecting? Which premise? First, second, or third?
You know, I really hate the pretentiousness that you're coming at us with, because it's like first, second, or third, refute them now, and then you mute up. Like, that's just really kind of dickish of you, for one. And next, what I'm actually rejecting here is this whole idea of possible, which Lux, I don't know, I'm frozen on the screen. I don't know what I'm doing there, but I'm rejecting.
Turning off your camera and turning it back on in the Zoom call.
Okay, let's see.
Turn on, John.
There we go.
Hey, you're back.
Okay, sorry about that. Yeah, I'm back. So I'm rejecting the possible part. Like you say, if it's possible, then this. If it's possible, then that. And then you come to some kind of concrete conclusion. And so I'm rejecting the whole possible nature, because you're moving from possible to plausible without any kind of justification there. Please answer now.
Which premise are you rejecting? Again, maybe, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. I just don't think you picked up like a single book on like
all of them.
Right?
All
so
of them. All of them.
Okay. So premise 3 is literally just axiomatic within S5. Premise 2 is just, if he's possible, then he exists within at least one possible world. That's also just true via
what the hell? How is this proving God?
And premise 1 is just, let me speak.
Premise 1 is just question begging.
No, me saying he's possible isn't a question beg. A singular proposition can't be a question beg.
Because he can be real, therefore he is real. I mean, come on.
Precisely. Based upon how we define
just because
him,
I can be a millionaire, does that mean I'm a millionaire? Of course not, right?
You being a millionaire isn't necessary. So no, that doesn't follow. It doesn't follow.
Doesn't make any fucking sense. Just because there can't be a God, there must be a God. I mean, I feel like you are.
Okay. Let me walk you through the reasoning, because I see where you guys are confused, and a lot of people get confused when it comes to modal logic because it's hard to understand, right? So maybe
it's not hard. It's not hard to understand. It's just annoying. It's just annoying. It's not hard to understand. It's just you guys like to hear yourself talk. It's like a dog in a echoey space. You just like to hear your voice. So when it bounces off, you're like, wow, that's fabulous. I like that. Syllogism.
Right.
Syllogism.
Yeah. So I've got I've got Jack muted right now. Okay. So it is question begging. Premise 1 from the very start is very much question begging, because it requires the concept of God to be coherent, but you've already defined your God as being incoherent because you've saddled him with all the omni properties. God cannot be all of the omni properties and be and comport with the reality that we're faced with. So you've already established that your God is incoherent, but then you're positing this possible maximal greatness being instantiated here. So that's the problem in your thing, is that you've said that it's possible for this God to exist, but then you've defined your God as incoherent. So please respond to me right now, 1, 2, or 3, yes or no.
Oh my. Okay, I'm not even gonna talk about the blunder you just made, but it's perfectly fine, right? It's not a question bag, but I see where you were.
Okay, I muted you because you used the word blunder, and that I've only heard like Philbro assholes use blunder in like a conversation. Like if you want to have a formalized debate, then email me or something like that. But yeah, please refrain from your Philbro tendencies in this particular thing. And I just really want you to like try to define how your God isn't incoherent. Please answer right now.
Okay, yeah. So as proven by Nicholas Griffith, when we say something is possible, that's just to mean there's at least one model in which the formula is satisfiable. And Nicholas Griffith has formalized the entire thesis of classical theism. So obviously it's possible because it's satisfied within at least one model, entailing that it's logically possible.
Yes, we're talking about plausible though. Like, is it plausible? And also coherent. So you haven't actually established.
You're a liar. Wait, you're a liar. Wait, you actually just lied there. Wait, you're actually.
Apparently I'm a liar. Oh my God, Casey just asked me, do you think he's a virgin? I don't know.
Casey, you know
Uh,
the answer to that.
I don't know, but Born Again, do you have any thoughts here before I unmute him? And then I think that we're going to move on to our next caller.
Oh my God, Godless Engineer, that is a beautiful statement you just made to move on. I would say with his hopefulness that God is real, it really just reminds me of that good old show Dragon Tales when he's saying, I wish with all my heart to fly with dragons in a land apart." That's the type of Delulu this guy is living in. So I do appreciate your your willingness to move on.
Yeah. Okay, Jack. I've unmuted you, and I really appreciate you calling in and everything like that. And I hope that you can fill, bro. Tomorrow on the line, we'll have more people that can deal with your possible, therefore probable stuff. Okay.
I never even said that, by the way. So yeah, absolutely. Just to answer the question asked by that one person, yes, I am. What's the issue with that?
Okay. Sorry, my finger slipped there.
Oh my God.
Yep. Yep. Okay, so just letting everybody know, before we move on to our next caller, we do have several shows that are going to be going on this coming week. Tomorrow we've got full slate with the Sunday show at 1, and then we've got on the Calling It Now show that pops up right after that over on Jimmy Snow and the Line, and then we'll have at 7 o'clock the Sunday show after dark. So there's like full afternoon and evening tomorrow, with plenty of conversations for y'all to tune into. I'm sure the political discussions will be on full blast tomorrow, so if you're interested in that, definitely tune in. Monday, we're going to be having Skeptalk, which I believe that it's Aaron Raw and maybe a guest. I'm not exactly sure. Then, of course, Tuesday, we've got Chewed Gum. Wednesday is the Hang Up with Matt. And I believe next Saturday is the next Cus I Wanna, and Justin is bringing on, I can't remember the guest right now. I'll try to get a better lineup here after this next caller. But I do want to ask, like, everybody that's in the comments right now, if you think that God is not evil and that you think that he's all good, or that, you can bring up something that's actually beneficial about Christianity or any of the God beliefs, please call in. The number is 720-619-2288, or you can use the web link in the description if you're outside of North America. So, next up, we've got Greg calling in from California. What's up, Greg? How are you doing?
What's up, guys? My name's Gregory Humphrey. I'm having a good day. What about you?
Doing all right. So, it says that you're willing to defend the view that God is not evil, and I'm wondering if you can start off by giving us your argument that you're God. Well, first of all, I guess, which God are you talking about, and then what's your argument that he's not evil?
By God, I think he's an all-good, bodiless, necessary mind that created the universe.
Okay. And what's your argument that he's not? Yeah.
For all X, if X is some entity E and E is all good, then E can't do evil. God's all good, therefore God can't do evil.
Wait, did he come back? The last guy.
Now,
I wish
Greg,
with all of my heart to fly with dragons in a land apart.
Yeah. So, Greg, are you reading Plantiga's argument, or was it Gödel?
My own argument.
No, this is definitely not your own argument. Because you know how I can tell that it's not your own argument, because you're using some logical notation there that is not meant to be read the way that you're reading it. So it just seems very obvious that you're reading off of like a proof list that you would have in like a discrete math class.
So what I made was a syllogism, and anybody can make these, right? It's just a set of premises.
Yeah, and Gödel and Plantinga already made them.
Sound, which is to say,
yeah, Gödel and Plantinga already made them.
Bro, you copy paste. Just a minute.
Their own separate argument, but this one's different from those ones.
Dude, you're caught.
This is my argument for God. Many are like it, but this one is mine.
Right, so I'll just repeat the argument. So for all X, if X is some entity E and E is all good, then E can't do evil. God's all good, therefore God can't do evil. Now, which
okay? Are you Christian? Are you a Christian?
Wait, so what we want to know is just which premise you would disagree
Are
with.
you a Christian? Are you a Christian?
Wait, hold on. So there's
Somebody's
premise one and
ashamed
there's
of being a
premise two. I just want to
Christian.
know which premise you would have an issue with.
Wait, are you a Christian?
I'm sorry, I'm just not sure the relevance. I just want to know.
Oh,
which
are you
premise of the
embarrassed?
argument
Are
have
you
concern with.
embarrassed to be a Christ follower? I'm just checking. Just because
So
God is
I prefer to
listening.
stay
So.
linear. I prefer to stay linear in my debates, right? And I don't want to do this like
I'm sorry,
weird
but when we're
ramble in the
talking, when
background.
we're arguing, when we're
premise do you disagree
arguing,
with?
when we're arguing whether God is real or God is evil, it's important to know which God you have a delulu mind on, because then we can know how to approach this conversation. Because your syllogism doesn't take away the fact that the Yahweh God committed genocide, right? I don't give a shit about what your own definition is. If you're a Christian, then you have to agree that God is okay with, killing the LGBTQIA+. That's something that you have to stand firm on. So if you are a Christian, then we know how to approach this conversation. If you're not, if you're just what was the other guy? An annoying theist?
Yeah.
Classical
I told you my
theist.
I told you my construe of God earlier. I don't know if you picked it up.
Are you a classical theist? Are you like what are you? Annoying?
So
Sorry.
what I think God is just what was that?
Are you an omnitheist? What are you?
Anyway, just cool it, right? So I think God's an all
No,
good.
I mean, we're wondering because this is important, because your syllogism doesn't mean shit if we're talking about Yahweh or Allah.
Well, I'm telling you right now.
Okay, so this would be easy. The answer would be yes or no, right?
Well, I'm telling you what my construe of God is, so.
Okay, yeah.
Well,
Do you want to know? Or?
Go ahead.
Well, no. So, I mean, the reason why we want to know is because, without some kind of theology or some kind of application to reality, then there's no way for us to really understand what you mean by omnibenevolent or good, bad, right, or wrong. I get that what you're saying is that God is omnibenevolent, so there's no way that he can be evil, so nothing that God can say is evil or do is evil. But I mean, that's just divine command theory. But you would end up needing to somehow define what good and bad or right or wrong is, and so that's what defining you as a Christian is.
Well, I think good's a primitive notion.
Good is a primitive
good
what?
And evil are primitive notions. Yeah, I think they're normatively fundamental and irreducible.
So the subjective moral statements of good and bad are fundamental and unchanging?
No, I'm just saying that good and evil are normative and primitive notions, which is just to say you can't reduce the concept down further.
I mean, I feel like you have to define good and evil first in order to figure out if you could reduce it down. But all you've done is just say, oh, well, you can't reduce it down.
No, yeah. So we have certain words which we just think are just primitive notions, such as maybe exist. A lot of people think existence is just some primitive notion, right? You can't reduce the concept further down.
I have no idea what in the fuck you just said. So
what's confusing about that?
Okay, so maybe we can put this in practical reality here.
What was confusing about what I said?
Well, because it just seems like you're playing around with definitions. You're doing a definition game, which ends up just being word salad, is what it seems like, and that's why it doesn't.
Well, you're the one who asked the definition, and I just told you I think it's a primitive notion.
Right, you're just saying it's axiomatic, but you're not actually giving me any kind of indication as to what would be.
Definitions can't be axiomatic, since definitions aren't truth apt sentences, right?
Okay, so how do you determine what is good and what is bad?
I don't know the relevance of the question.
So sorry, go ahead.
All we want to know is whether or not.
I was going to say, so let me get this straight. Let me get this straight. This whole conversation is the chihuahua in the echoey hallway, you hearing yourself talk, and then when he asks you a question, you go, I'm not going to answer the question, I plead the fifth. Huh? What's the point of you talking to us? You just want to. Why didn't you just record a YouTube? Why not just record a YouTube video and hear yourself talk? Like, why did you come up if you're not willing to engage in anything we're asking you?
Motormouth.
You're not engaging in anything we're asking you. Why don't you answer his question? We've asked you like 50 questions. You're like, I don't know why I'm not going to answer that. That's not relevant. What do you mean it's not relevant? We're having a fucking conversation. We're not here to hear you fucking talk. That's insane. I'm not here to hear you run your trap. Okay, you sound like the last guy.
Yeah. So, Greg, you just called my co-host Born Again here a motor mouth, and that's not exactly nice. So I've went ahead and I've muted you. I'm just kind of
Oh,
curious,
he
Greg.
did.
Oh yeah. So
Oh
I'm just
man.
kind of curious there, Greg. Why should we trust somebody that we know is a liar? Can you tell me why? Like, you're a liar. You're obviously a liar. So like, why should we believe a liar right now?
What was that?
You're a liar. So like, why should we trust anything that you say as far as like your argument goes? It just seems like you're just going to continue to lie no matter what happens in the conversation.
So what we want is an answer to the question, yes or no.
What
we
I
have
want
debate
is for you to answer my question. Why should we
So
trust you
what's
because you're
really
a
going
liar?
on is that my penis is being in.
What?
You're. I'm so. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry, dude. You're gonna have to wait till you hang up to do that. I'm so sorry. Or you might have to go check with your doctor. Maybe go to the emergency.
So I mean, well, I say liar. Maybe I'm overreaching in that. Last time you called in as Gregita from Bulgaria instead of California, you're she they, and so I just I don't know like what's going on here with it, but it at least it comes across when you call in like that, it comes across as being a liar. So like I'm just kind of curious. Should we trust liars, and under what kind of foundation are you judging whether or not we should trust a liar? I'm unmuting you, and please don't talk about your penis.
So there's this thing called a gender incongruence. I used to have she, her pronouns. Now I have he, him pronouns since I'm transgender. I don't know why you're being transphobic to me. And then two,
Oh, I'm not being transphobic. I'm just saying that it comes across as you being a liar. I totally
and whether
No, so sorry. I totally respect if you're figuring that out. That's why I said that maybe I was overreaching a little bit, and that maybe you're not being a liar. But so let's try to get back to that. I mean, did you live in Bulgaria at one point or something? Like the location's still like incredibly different. But in any case, so maybe let's do a reset here. So Greg the liar, like what? Well, what's your argument for God?
For all acts, if acts, wait, for God or for why God can't do evil? Which one?
Well, I mean, God has to exist for him not to do evil. Otherwise, if he doesn't exist, then like he obviously can't do evil, right?
Yep. So so which one do you want though? I can give either or. You want
right? So let's start with God existing. Let's see if you can prove that first. Try to do it without lying, though. That would be great.
Just cool it. So for all acts, if X is a necessary being, then X exists. God's a necessary being, therefore God exists. There you go. Now, which premise do you disagree with?
Wait, what the fuck is this? God is real. Am I crazy, or is that just like the dumbest argument on the planet? God's real because it makes sense that he could be real, therefore he is real. What? I mean, that's some lazy shit. Like, can you tell me like how he made the 4 billion-year-old rocks in Canada? Can you tell me why all these religious texts have him way younger than we have? Then we date things today. Can you explain why everybody's God doesn't match any scientific evidence we have today? I mean, what? You can't just say he's real because in my heart of hearts it feels good that he's real, huh? Can you give me more than that? I'm getting so fucking bored.
Regurgitate premise one of the argument. Go ahead.
I'm so tired of these fucking premises. You're just like God's real. God's real because it makes sense for him to be real.
Wait,
that can't be. If that can't be your argument, that can't be the best you got. You called this number just to tell me God's real because that's the best. That's the best. This is the best shit we got. That God's real. Okay, and he's real because it makes sense that he's real. That's what you got. That's why you called. Really? He's real because it makes sense. What do you mean? How does it make sense? Explain how it makes sense. Don't say premise one. What do you mean premise one? We're talking about the existence of God here.
Oh, motor mouth, just cool it, please. Wow.
Hey, wait, I'm sorry. What's your pronouns? What's your pronouns? What are your pronouns? Are you transgender? I just don't want to be offensive if you actually are. Because if you're a biological male, then I'll rip you to shreds. But I do need to check.
Yeah, sorry, I had to mute him. He called you motor mouth again. If you call my co-host a motor mouth again, I'm gonna drop you.
Are you a biological male that identify as? Do you identify as a man? Well, I'm asking if you identify as a man. If you're a cisgendered man.
So you want to be transphobic after I blow your
I
back
don't
out,
know.
is what
I don't
you're
know.
saying.
Your
That's completely
pronouns say
irrelevant.
he, him.
That's
I'm asking
really
if you're.
messed
I'm
up.
asking if you're
That's
trans. I don't know
really
if you're
bigoted.
trans. I don't know if you're trans.
That's totally irrelevant. I'm
If
not gonna
you
tell you if I
are,
have a
if
penis
you
or
are
if I
a
have a vagina.
biological, if
This
you're
is
a
messed up.
biological male that identifies as a man, I'll rip you to shreds. If you're not, then I'll be nice to you. So that's why I want to know if you're a man.
Oh, so,
That was a
so
cisgender
apparently
man.
cis males don't have value under your view, is what you're saying.
Oh
That's
no,
equally as bigoted.
you in particular.
And that's
I will not
really
attack
cool.
you. I will not
That's
attack you
totally
if
uncalled
you are
for.
in the trans community. But if you are a cisgender man, I will rip you to shreds. So, are you a cisgender man?
Oh,
Just so I
that's
can.
bigoted. You're a complete freaking
Wait, you keep calling me a transphobe? Are you Are you transgender? Because I don't want to be insensitive about. I genuinely mean that.
transphobic. Yeah, you're a cisphobic
No,
monster.
you
What's wrong
did.
with being a cis man?
He's trans, right? Your pronouns are he him. It's on the screen. I'm not trying to be a dick. I'm just asking, like,
Mhm.
if you're an actual cisgendered man, okay, that means you're not trans, right? Or are you in the transgender community? Are you mocking the trans community?
Value to is so cis males don't have value to is what you're saying.
So, but
What's
then
wrong
you're
with
not.
being a cis male?
I'm not saying they don't have value or anything, but I'm just saying they're not trans by definition.
Oh, really? Cis people aren't trans. Who would have fucking guessed? Wow.
Yeah. Well, that's
Now,
why I'm asking.
Why would you rip me to shreds if I was a cis male, though? That's pretty
Well,
bigoted.
I'm just asking. If you're
Well, is
if
that
you're
even
transgender,
relevant
I'm
to
not
the
going to be
debate,
mean to you,
jackass?
right? But if you're a man, I'll be mean to you.
I'm sorry, Greg. I'm dropping you.
Cisgendered male, I'll be mean.
Yeah, so I dropped Greg there because I mean he repeatedly was calling Born Again here was it Motormouth and all these other derogatory names. So yeah, we're just not going to stand for that. I mean, if Greg can host his own live and shit on us whenever we call in there, but we're not. Anyways, so we have another call that's screening in right now. But if you're in the comment section and you disagree with anything that we've said here or anything like that, just go on ahead, call in. The number is 720-619-2288. We'd love to hear from you, or use the web link if you're outside of North America. Now, Born Again, what do you normally do, like, whenever somebody comes up with that Philbro shit? For me, like, my brain just sort of zones out, and I'm like, what the fuck are we even talking about here?
Yep.
But I don't know. What do you think?
I've gotten really good at getting them to shut up, because one of the things that Phil Bros do stand on is objective morality. And so before I can get them to get to the premise bullshit, I say, oh, you think it's objectively okay to sell little girls into sex slavery? Or you think it's objectively okay to kill LGBTQIA+? Or you think it's objectively okay to, they always to own people as property, and anything about women shutting up, they like that. But the other ones are like, wait, no, I don't think that. And then the conversation usually goes to them trying to be justify objective morality. So I try to get them as far away from their arguments as possible, because, oh my God, it's so fucking ridiculous. God can be real because there's a possibility he can be real. Huh? I mean, I can only hear that argument so many times. So I just try to beat them on objective morality, or their claims of objective morality. And then that's usually when they crash out.
Yeah. And I feel like we were trying to get Greg to that position of trying to ascertain whether or not his God is omnibenevolent and what kind of role his God has in reality in that particular respect. Because I mean, if you want to say God is omnibenevolent, but then he doesn't fucking touch the universe, or he doesn't have any kind of active role in the universe or anything like that.
That kind of goes against it. Yeah. It goes against that phrase. It's contradictory.
Yeah. And so that's I'm really surprised when people are confused. It really threw me off when he was like, under what definition of coherence do you mean? It's like, I'm sorry, what context of coherence do we need for this particular discussion?
Exactly. But I thought you did pretty good, especially because we got 2 in a row. Oh my God. I hope I find a Jesus freak soon, because that's insane that they're the only ones that are on the internet.
Yeah. All right. Well, we've got Lindsay coming up from Colorado next. Say, hey there, Lindsay. How you doing?
I'm pretty good.
Awesome.
I have a question for both of you. So
Okay.
I grew up Christian, technically, well, not technically, but the specific sect I was brought up is Lutheran LCMS specifically, so Lutheran Church Missouri Synod. I called quite a while ago, and I talked with Matt and Aaron. I think that's his name. We went through why is it circular reasoning to believe in the Bible because the Bible says so. And I'm like, I get it in all other aspects. If you say, well, this book says it's true because it's true, like if you pull out like a fictional book that I know is fiction, right? I understand that point. True as in like God breathed, that kind of a thing. And so I don't know how long you've been out of Christianity, but it's like my brain's like, I don't get it. So yeah.
What are your thoughts there, Born Again?
Wait, you said your brain says what? I missed the last part.
I'm sorry. My brain just doesn't understand why it's circular reasoning to say the Bible is true because the Bible is true. Now, I was taught that it was true because, as in God breathed. Just like language, I know I can learn another language, but I don't understand why it's circular reasoning to other people.
So you don't hold the position that the Bible's true because the Bible's true, but you like the Bible.
I'm deconstructing, so
are you having an issue with like the Bible's man-made? How do I feel about that kind of stuff?
Right now, currently, I believe that that most of the Old Testament is mythology because that makes the most sense, and that the Bible is let me think. The Bible was written right 2,000 years ago or however long. So it makes the most sense that people were trying to figure out the God for themselves. They wrote it down, and through violent means necessary, it kind of went that way. Obviously, it's still a theory in my head, but like that's what I'm most concrete about. I don't necessarily see it as inerrant because there are lots of errors in the Bible. I mean,
sure.
If it's an omnipresent God who knows everything, why is slavery okay? And then some apologists are like, well, they were working within the confines of the or like they're working within the confines of of men's rules, or like it was what was it? The other one with Ellie Bestucky was like it was bond servitude, and I'm like, it's still owning people.
Correct.
I don't get it.
Well, my opinion, thank you for sharing. And I love that you're in the process of deconstructing, at least, whatever that means. Deconstructing could still mean you're a Christian, but it's just important that we are questioning things. Proverbs 3, 5, and 6 does say, do not lean on your own understanding, in all your ways acknowledge God. Only he's allowed to direct your path. So I'm happy that you surpassed the indoctrination that says, don't think for yourself. I think that's a really good thing. I think, in my opinion,
that's an interesting way of viewing that verse.
Yeah, it's basically saying stay indoctrinated or else. It's a pretty threatening verse. Same thing with the millstone tied around the neck of the adult that brainwashes the child. People think it's like if you abuse a child. No. That verse is referencing if you cause a child to basically deconstruct, or you don't teach them, you don't indoctrinate them about the Bible. It's saying you can go unalive or, wreck yourself. But I would say from a perspective of a believer, I do not think you can be a believer, in my opinion, without thinking that God totally wrote the Bible and it's the inspired word of God. John 1:1 says, in the beginning, and the word was with God, the word was God. I believe it was in the book of Luke that said everything in the scripture is God breathed and important for teaching, rebuking. And then in Revelation, it says in 18:21, anybody who adds or takes away from the text mentioned in this book, I will add or take away, or I will add to them the plagues that are in this book if you fuck with the Bible. I don't think you can be a believer if you genuinely, if you think that it's man-made and it's all bullshit. Also, 1 Peter 2:20-21 says, nothing written in the scriptures is man's own interpretation and is solely written by the hand of God, inspired by the Holy Spirit, not man's interpretation alone. So it tells you that it's not all fucked up with man. So if you are like, if it's any of those people that commit Bible libel, I call it, you're not, you should just jump ship on the religion, because the Bible definitely says God has a full hand and full control of everything that is a part of this religion. It is not man-made. So believers want to pretend it is, so they can go, I don't want to tithe. That's man-made. I don't like the slavery one. That's man-made, I don't think you can be an authentic believer and not think it's God's word.
I can see where people are like, you're not a real Christian because and I'm like, really? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, for that, if anybody approaches you with that, you just got to hit them with the no true Scotsman. Like, explain to them what a no true Scotsman is, and because it's bullshit to say you're not a Christian in that particular sense.
Well, white evangelical Christians like to do that quite a bit. It's like, no, you're not. And then I was like listening to something else who was it? Jovan and someone else were like debating the Catholic AI person. And apparently Catholics don't believe that any other Christians are actually Christians. I'm like, wow.
Protestants Protestants think Catholics are going to hell. So they share.
Oh no,
they share the same ideas.
No, here's the thing. I wasn't brought up that way. I was brought up that all of Christianity, so all of the sects are Christian, if they claim to be. They just go ahead and base, like the Baptists, hold true to these truths. The Protestant or the Lutherans hold to these truths. It's not necessarily like, I don't know, maybe my parents did better. And they're like, no, Catholics don't go to hell. What are you talking about? So yeah, I guess I have a unique way of interpreting all the sects of Christianity. So yeah, that's how I was raised, though. It's like, no, we don't disparage other sects of Christianity. We just choose this one because we like it the best. So I don't know.
I mean, that makes sense, but I will say the salvation plan for each of these denominations super contradicts. So you kind of would have to think the Baptists are going to heaven, but the Pentecostals are going to hell, or the Pentecostals got it right, but the non-denominational, they're the ones going to hell, or the Catholic. I mean, even amongst the Protestants, they think some of them are not going to heaven. So I think that's just a part of the doctrine. That's why we have 45,000 different denominations, because they all have different ways of worshiping, dressing, or their salvation methods. They all have one thing in common.
Yeah.
They have one thing in common. They fucking hate the LGBTQI plus and women. But other than that, they all have different salvation. They dress differently, but they do hold the same hateful, harmful ideologies. So, period.
Definitely. I mean, I don't know. Like, I guess the whole predestination thing, that's kind of odd. But again, I didn't grow up with that. So I was like, people think you're predestined for heaven or hell? Like, that's an odd way of looking at it. What? So, anyway.
It's technically true. So, not to be morbid, but if God took my life before I was 27, I'd be going to heaven. But he knew I'd become an atheist at 27. And so now I'm destined for hell. And he knew that was going to happen. So it is kind of a predetermined, predestined kind of thing, Calvinistic mindset.
Yeah, I mean, you're an atheist, so you don't believe in a God. Therefore, you don't believe in an afterlife, I assume, but maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, but according to them, that's what they would think about me.
Well, yeah, but that's just annoying. I don't know, maybe I have a more open mindset. than a lot of other callers.
Well, I mean,
Most
yeah,
of my
I would
friends
consider it
are atheists, so.
okay. Yeah, I would consider it annoying. Go ahead.
I was gonna say I had to deal with that in 7th grade. I'm 39 now, so yeah, I had to deconstruct quite a bit. Yes, I know I sound young.
Do you see yourself becoming an agnostic atheist or something outside of Christianity?
Honestly, I don't know.
How do you feel that your religion is associated with like really dangerous rhetorics like rid
I don't
the
like
world
it
of
at
the
all.
Yeah, exactly. I always
Yeah, I
say
don't like
that
it at all.
not every believer is a white supremacist or homophobic, transphobic. But every transphobic, homophobic, and what did I say? White supremacist, they do love Jesus. So maybe you should start considering why that's the case. And I think there is a lot of Bible verses to back up why they do all these horrendous things and why they think these horrendous things. And I think it'll start getting you to question whether this is the faith for you or not.
Well, yeah, I mean, I've kind of already done that a little bit, but I don't know if I want to admit it to myself or not. It's just like, wow, the Crusades also, it's people justified slavery, and then through time, people have not justified slavery. So again, it's cherry picking, but I don't know if people go ahead and, say, oh, you're cherry picking the Bible. It's like, well, you're doing the same thing. So I don't know. Anyway.
Well, there's like a ton of verses regarding God being okay with slavery, right?
Oh, yes. No, I understand that completely. And I'm, let's see. How do I put this? It's annoying to continue to confront all of this stuff where I'm like, maybe I should just, I don't know what I want to do with it. But yeah, it's hard to keep defending it.
I think if I could give you some advice, I think what really helps solidify my deconstruction / atheism is watching debates. Continue to subscribe to people like the Godless Engineer, The Line, and go to TikTok.
Yeah.
There are dozens and dozens and dozens of fabulous atheist creators on TikTok who do debates.
Yeah.
And I think it'll really help you kind of go, maybe I don't know if this is the religion for me. I think having that contrast between Christians and atheists will really help you.
Yeah. And again, I remember starting kind of my deconstruction via YouTube with like Jimmy Snow, actually, when he was called Dear Mr. Atheist, and Owen Morgan he was called Telltale. So that was my jump into it. So I was like, oh, wait, I remember that one time in youth group where they're like, let's learn about cults. And then I was like, doesn't that mean we're cults? And then apparently, no, according to Owen Morgan, Lutheranism is not a cult. So good for that. But, it's still weird.
Yeah, all organized religions are culty to me.
Culty, yes. I agree they have some mindsets within the bite model, among other things. But yeah. So also I was wondering how you would debate a polytheist.
I mean, it would, for me, it would be the same thing. Just every single God they claim. Okay. It doesn't matter how many gods they're claiming, like each one's you're gonna need to provide evidence for that God. And so like if you're just ad hoc stating that this God exists, then that's not any kind of reason to like believe in that God or to become convinced that that God exists. You would need some kind of justification that actually cements that God in reality, as opposed to just somebody, because somebody could just come along and claim any, a new pantheon of gods, and if they don't provide
Right.
evidence for it and they just expect you to believe it, then literally anybody can get you to believe anything.
Yeah, it's interesting when it's one God who's all powerful, and then polytheism to me makes more sense because you're attributing certain, like, for example, I don't know if we go like the Greek versions of God. You got Zeus, you got different ones, and they're all like known for at least 3 things and not everything. So it'd make more sense to be like, well, this God is angry with you because you did this thing, but not all the gods. So for whatever reason, it's a little bit easier to, I don't know, I like that better than one God is used for everything, and if you hate one piece of that God, then you hate all of him. And I'm like, that's weird.
I also think that you'll just find a lot more peace outside of, I mean, I think polytheism is fine. I mean, it makes more sense than Yahweh, I guess, but even Christians would argue that they kind of are polytheistic because of Jesus, Holy Spirit, and God. But I don't know. I think there's more,
usually
but
the triune God in one.
But I do think there is more peace into just like not fucking worrying about it, because at the end of the day, you can learn about astronomy and science and astrophysics and history and dating mechanisms, and you can learn about all of these things, and then just like have fun enjoying nature and learn about trees and learn about sharks and learn about all these different topics, rather than being like, that's a sun god and that's a rock god and that's a plant god and that's a cloud god. Like, my goodness, I think I think you're just still kind of wasting your time there. I think if you're gonna do it, jump into agnosticism and just be in the world of non-belief for the first time in your life. For me, once I deconstructed everything, I went, there is no room for another God. I did everything. Fucking levitated, spoke in tongues, did dreams, did magic, pretend. I thought I did. And then when I deconstructed that, I was like, there's no room for this hidden other God. No, it's gone. I mean, no, there's no other God. So just live in reality.
Yeah, and I guess for me it's I guess again easier to accept polytheism again, because it's like, well, if you attribute 3 things to this God and 3 things to this God, then it's easier to be like, well, I don't like this God, instead of like part of Yahweh or whatever. But yeah.
Well, if I can ask, Lindsay, why is a God necessary to begin with? It kind of seems to me like we can explain all of those things without needing to insert some kind of supernatural space wizard or multiple ones in there.
I mean, technically we don't, because now we are past superstition, I guess, and I think religion might still be superstition, but just written down, and I don't know. It's weird. I was listening to Christopher Hitchens, and where he was like something about religion is the last dogmatic piece we have to unlearn in order to advance as a species. And I'm like, that kind of makes sense, but that's also really hard, considering we have, not just Christianity, but Islam as well. And depending on where you live, you have like in America, we have the differentiation between church and state. And in some Islamic countries, there is no definite or line between church and state. The religion is the law of the land. So that's going to be hard to do as a species, I guess, but I don't know.
I still don't see how we need a God to explain it. Like I don't understand the explanatory power that proposing a God or adhering to one God or many gods like provides us with understanding reality.
No, I was right. I was saying that I agree with you. I was saying that Christopher Hitchens said something to the effect of that getting away from God as the answer is like the way of moving forward as a species. And I was just saying, like, I would think it would be harder in places where there is no separation between church and state, where the religion is the law of the land. So I was just, in very broad strokes, saying, like, it would be hard.
So. Well, it would be hard in that case because everybody is saying that God is necessary. But I guess what I'm trying to appeal to is the fact that God doesn't provide us with any kind of like explanatory power in the way of understanding our reality. So for you personally, not for people in Iran or Iraq or anything like that, but for you personally, I don't see like the benefit of inserting a God into your worldview, which I know that you say that you're kind of deconstructing and everything like that. So.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know, it's hard to let it go because it's been my reality for so long. And again, it's the implications of letting it go. It's like, well, great.
Other than social implications, what implications are you talking about? Is it just the social ones, or do you think that there's other implications?
Oh, no, definitely just social.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but the people in your life who are Christian, who are jerks, they're going to be jerks regardless.
Right, I don't have many of those.
But then then what social implications are you worried about? I live in a Christian nationalist area. I have like 5 cults within a 10-mile radius of each other. And everybody in my family are Christian nationalists, and they're hardcore Trump supporters.
I'm sorry.
So me deconstructing, I'm actually like, they don't know. I never told them I was an atheist. I think they figured it out now, but that's fine. Thank you for feeling bad for me. It is what it is. And so me deconstructing was just for my own sense of peace of mind, because I didn't want to be on the wrong side of history while ICE is, kidnapping all these people out of their homes, and we're bombing countries illegally and all these other things. Oh, it looks like my camera froze. Oh, did it freeze? I don't know.
Oh yeah, try turn it. There you go. You're back.
Thank you, Lex. Thank you, Lex. Yeah. Well, under this crazy reign we're at, it was important for me to use my voice to warn people about Christian nationalism and the harm that religion causes, to get people to deconstruct, because this is not the time you want to start converting to a religion. This is not the time.
Oh, no.
So
definitely not.
I would say the social implications, if you don't actually have them, like I had them. My family,
no, exactly.
They have Trump flags all over their house, right? Like I have those social implications. Luckily, my partner is an atheist, and he's like a super leftist socialist. So I got lucky. Other than in my safety in my home, which is really great. Everybody else I've ever grown up with, I've ever been friends with, 100% of those communities got completely cut off. But it was worth it, because my sense of peace, I didn't want to be a part of a religion that literally calls for the oppression of women in so many dangerous ways, like telling women they're allowed to be, the Bible says you're allowed to, essay your spouse. In 1 Corinthians chapter 7, it gives you permission for marital rape, right? Which is just like super gross and terrible. And it tells women that they need to shut up and submit to men. We have to have a dress code. We have to be modest. It pushes purity culture and selling women into sex slavery. So it's like, I don't want to be part of that. And so it was important for me to cut off those communities and those social ties, because I knew how harmful it was to my safety and the safety of other marginalized groups that I am very, that I care deeply about. So I would want you to kind of think about it in that way. If you don't actually have and I always tell people, if you are deconstructing and you're in an environment like a house full of Christian nationalists, super Trumpers, don't risk them kicking you out. Always weigh out your options. That's why, like, I didn't tell my family, I'm an atheist and God sucks, right? I didn't tell them that because to me it wasn't worth doing that. But in my own sanity, it was okay for me to admit that to myself. But always, guys, always make sure that your safety is protected before you go out and be a angry, deconstructing king or queen, gay they, right? Whatever the case is, please make sure you're safe first and foremost before you go crazy. I've had people tell me, "Oh, I got kicked out of my house because I it was worth me screaming about God." I'm like, "No, it's not worth getting you. It's not worth you being out on the street, right?" So, do it in your do it in your mind and do it in a safe way. Do it in a safe way. Deconstruct in a safe way.
Right.
But if you don't have those worries, then just do it. You're already in a good spot, right? You're already deconstructing. You're like, this God sucks. Just do it. You know, it's not gonna. It's really, especially because you're a woman, right? It's not gonna benefit you. It's not gonna benefit you staying in a group like that.
Yeah.
And I want to see you out. I want to see you happy.
Yeah, definitely. The other question I had was I was listening to Lutheran Satire. So it's a YouTube video. And in the end, it said, also saying we don't believe in God because of science is like saying we don't need to believe in orthodontists because of braces. Is that just word salad, or does that mean anything to either of you? Because that just sounds like word salad to me.
Can you repeat it real quick?
Sure. It says, we don't need to believe in God, it says, also saying we don't need to believe in God because of science is like saying we don't need to believe in orthodontics because of braces.
It makes sense, but it's just silly.
Well, so for me, it sounds a little incoherent, at least to me, just because like we're not saying that like you can't believe in or accept science and you've either got to accept science or you've got to accept God. Like I mean, I live in North Alabama. There's like, more doctorates here and most people are religious. So like you could definitely be a smart, person that accepts science and also be religious. There's just a lot of compartmentalization that goes on there. So it kind of feels like a little bit of a straw man situation to say that unless you're talking about specific like conversations. So like if you're talking about young earth creationists, I would say that, science disproves young earth creationism in that aspect of like some fundamentalist versions of God. But as far as like a general Christian God or like anything like that, I think that, people are perfectly fine both accepting science and believing in their Christian God. I mean, honestly, I think it just depends on how you interpret your particular Christian God. But anyways, Lindsay, we do have somebody else on the line to talk. Oh, yeah. So
most definitely. Thank you for your talking with me, and I will keep those things in mind. Thank you.
Absolutely, Lindsay. Good luck.
Yeah, good luck. Okay, and I hope that you'll call in some other time and with more questions as you come across them in your deconstruction. So good luck to you.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Genuinely mean that.
Bye there, Lindsay. All right. So just letting everybody know that if you're in the side chat there, which it looks like 6% of people do not believe that God is evil, and that's about half of who's viewing here. So y'all need to be calling in. Y'all need to be hitting up that phone number. The number is 720-619-2288, or you can use the web link in the description. We've only got one caller on the line right now, so we've got several lines open if you want to call in. Yeah, I know.
Wow.
So definitely call in and everything like that. I do want to emphasize over there on TikTok, Born Again Atheist has awesome lives. Sorry, I was pointing to the wrong direction.
Oh, thank
Born Again
you.
Atheist has awesome lives. They're very fun. And I wanted to point this out before, but I love your Fallout refrigerator in the background. I don't know if I've said that before.
No,
but,
you
I love
haven't.
it.
Yeah, you forgot to mention it. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I love Fallout. Love playing the game with my husband, and we are just drooling because of the new series. So we just love season 2. I won't say anything about it, but love the series, love the game. So
Yeah. So definitely hit up Born Again Atheist over there on TikTok. I don't know, do you think that you're going to be going live tonight? I know you typically do like a night shift kind of thing over there on
I
TikTok.
do. We do vampire hours, so we usually go live. I always say this, but I'm always late. But typically I try to aim for like 8 p.m. Eastern Standard, but because I'm irresponsible, I've been doing 9 p.m., even 10 p.m. Like it's been kind of crazy. But then again, it's like New Year's Eve and stuff like that. But we're there every night, guys. TikTok, around 8 p.m. to 10-ish p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you guys have insomnia, so do we. So come hang out with us. We are there all night. It's really fun. We like to wreck the mogs. Shout out to the Coven, by the way. If you're in the chat and you're from the Coven, say, hi, I'm a Coven member. And if you want to be a Coven member, go subscribe on TikTok. We would love to have you. We love it when the Coven grows. And a Mog is a man of God. So one of our favorite things to do is wreck the Mogs. So yeah, she was a log. She was a lady of God, but she's deconstructing. So we were nice to her, of course. But yeah, if you're a man of God, call that number because we are starved. We had 2 Phil Bros. Oh my God. So
yeah, no.
Yeah, we need a man of God. Set us straight.
I do want to also emphasize that we will be reading all super chats, $5 or more. So if you have a question for either Born Again Atheist or myself, be sure to send in those super chats of $5 or more, and we will read them and interact with them directly on the stream here right at the end.
Oh, great. I'm excited. Can't wait.
Yep. All right. So next up, we have Mondo again from California. California is going crazy tonight.
Woo, I love it.
What's up there, Mondo? What you got to talk about tonight?
What's up, brother? I'm not really in Cali, but Cali is where I originate, so I keep Cali with me.
Okay. So it says that you want to argue that God is not evil. I'm wondering if you can give us sort of lead into the discussion a little bit there.
Yeah, so I was just calling because, you can't really call God evil. That's like calling microwave backgrounds evil because he just is. That you can technically say, that's why we have to say who God is, because that's where the evil comes into play. And that's where I think Jesus comes in. And so, you could probably try to argue that Jesus is evil, but I don't think that's the case. But if evil was to be attributed to what God is, you would have to do it to God's identity. And that's kind of where my basis is.
Well, you're a Christ follower.
Huh?
You're a Christ follower, correct?
I'm a follower of Jesus, yes.
Yeah. So all of that stuff about the microwave background just existing, God doesn't just exist. Hello? He's very active in your religion. Beyond active, beyond in your face. Oh shit, you're hungry? Oh, you're hungry? You want me? Boom! Unalives you or wrecks you with a bunch of quail spitting out blood. Oh, you're a little boy calling a man bald? Boom! Torturous death. Right? Oh, you're being a little bitch. Oh, boom! Flood. Right? I mean, what do you mean? He's not just existing. He's very hands-on. Right?
Well, no, because it depends on are you just saying that the Bible shows that God is evil? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I mean, the Bible would be a definition of God, right?
Yeah, but you read the Bible. What the hell?
Well, that's why I was asking. It depends on what you're saying by God. That's why I said Jesus is the depiction of that God. So it's not like they're separate.
So hold on.
And you wouldn't say Jesus is evil.
Yes, we would.
I would say Jesus is evil. But I mean, do you consider God to be the same in the past as he is in the present, as he will be in the future?
Yes.
Okay. And Jesus is God, right?
Yes.
Okay, so like when God in Numbers 31 commands Moses to take small pubescent girls as sexual slaves, that's Jesus giving that command, correct?
Well, you're gonna have to read that, brother. Pretty sure it doesn't say that, so I want to hear you read it.
Oh, okay. So we're going to need to pull it up. Turn in your Bibles to Numbers 31. See, I reference this so often, it was automatically in my drop down there. So it says here, crap. Why does it always go to King James?
Now you have to pick up the book, bless God. What do you use?
Yeah.
King James
what
is
do
the
I,
one.
I
What are you talking about?
Oh yeah. Okay. Not really. So I use the Bible Gateway is what I usually pull up. But so Numbers 31, 17, 18 says, now therefore kill every male among the little ones and kill every woman who has known a man by sleeping with him. But for all the young girls who have not known a man by sleeping with him, keep alive for yourselves. And so this is essentially, this is a perfect fucking freeze frame there for me. This is essentially saying that the young girls are taken into sexual slavery and that they are forced into marriages to Israelite men. So would this be a pretty dick move by Jesus?
Oh, see, this is what I'm saying. You're adding all that extra. It says take for yourself, but what does it mean for yourself? Does it add what you just said? What's the next verse after that? What's the verse before that?
No, why does it make
Because it matters
painful?
on the context.
No, hold on. Yes, I understand the context of it, and trust me, you don't want to expand this out into like further shit there. But as far as it, why is it important that it be young girls who have not known a man by sleeping with him? Why is that important?
Because they haven't been corrupted, and if you're trying to save people from corruption, you would save the ones that are not corrupted. Especially if they're sexually immoral, and that's their basis of corruption.
Hold on. You think non-virgin girls are corrupted?
That's not what I said.
It feels like that's what he said. I don't know, but born again, is that what he said?
No. The sexual immorality, that's corruption. So those who follow the sexual immorality of the culture is different than those that don't.
Because it doesn't say if the girls are slutty, you can wreck them. No, it says anybody who doesn't have their virginity, which means people are getting married. So wives were also super duper wrecked at the hands of the Israelites, right? So it wasn't just who's a slut. Sorry. It wasn't just who's slutty. It was like, oh no, if you're like a woman, and it specifies a woman, by the way. It says if you're a woman and you lost your virginity and you're married or whatever the case, we're gonna totally wreck you. Oh, you're a little girl who still has her virginity. Okay. Alrighty, God likes it. He's gonna send the little girls who haven't known a man to his army, because it does specify that they're girls. And the women, it specifies them as women. And the little boys that are super murdered are specified as little. And then the men are grown men. So it does say they're little. And they're for the soldiers, and they have their virginity. What the fuck else do you think? What else would it mean?
I have no idea what you're talking about. But if we're talking about girls that have not done anything sexually immoral, then they're not corrupted by sexual immorality.
No, the women didn't do anything.
Specifically.
Were you not here for this conversation?
No, well, because he's talking about girls, and you're talking about women. And you just verify that there is a separation.
Oh.
So I'm not understanding how that refuted what I said.
Is it the tone of my voice? I mean, I can talk lower if that helps you hear me better. All the women who lost their virginity will be wrecked. All the little boys will be wrecked. All the men will be wrecked. But if you're a little girl who has her virginity still, you are the prize for my soldiers. I mean, is that better? Is it the high-pitched voice? I'm trying to work on that. I do apologize. Sometimes that makes men not want to listen to me.
I don't. I listen to you. My point was you're talking about
so what
women.
are you confused about?
He's talking about girls.
It doesn't say every woman who lost her virginity, because not every woman was a slutty, right? She was a wife. There were some wives in there.
I wasn't talking about women.
100% of the
well, hold on. Let me interject real quick here, because in the Israelite culture at this particular time, there are 3 different stages for girls is indicated by the language of the Hebrews. The first stage would have been like children. Those would have been girls that are under the age of 12, and then under the age of 12 and a half. And then there's another word for them at 12 and a half, which is typically the age of puberty. And then the word Alma, meaning woman, or it was given to any child 12 and a half or that has gone through puberty and above. So like when they talk about these things, like the kill every woman who has known a man by sleeping with him, that's just it would be the women that would have been married or otherwise had lost their virginity. And then it specifies young girls so that it can include just any of the girls that are virgins, including the ones that have not yet been married. But it would have been like the young kids right up until the girls that would be either going through puberty or whatnot, because those that would have been after puberty would have been married off and would have lost their virginity at that point. So even the woman part is actually mentioning girls that we would consider to be children at that point. This is just like a language thing as far as the Hebrew Bible goes. So when it says young girls here, it is distinguishing them in that they are children. And then if you go to Numbers 31:25, it says this: the Lord spoke to Moses. So this is the Lord is speaking directly to Moses. These are the Lord's words, God's coming from God's mouth, going into Moses's ears. It says, you and Eleazar the priest and the heads of the ancestral houses of the congregation make an inventory of the plundered, captured, both human and animal. In 27, it says, divide the plunder into two parts between the warriors who went out to battle and all the congregation. From the share of the warriors who went out to the battle, set aside a tribute, blah, blah, blah. It basically says take one out of every 500, whether persons, oxen, donkeys, or sheep. Take from their half, give it to Eleazar the priest as an offering to the Lord. And but for the Israelites, half shall take one out of every 50, whether persons, oxen, donkey, or sheep, all the animals, give them to the Levites who to perform duties at the tabernacle of the Lord. So they're literally divvying out these children to the Israelites. Part of those children are going to the warring men to be made into wives. I don't know in the Israelite culture, what other purpose did young girls serve? Like, I don't know, born again, what other purpose did young girls serve for Israelites at this time?
Oh, let's see. Other than getting super sexed up and super graped, let's see. They burned them sometimes.
Oh yeah, they
threw rocks a couple of times, so they used them as target practice. What else?
We're like way left field right now, so
this is kind of crazy. Wait a minute, I do have a question, guest. If it was about like purity, right? Oh, the women are all sluts, right? The little girl up here, they're not defiled.
No. It's about not being. Listen. It is about not being subject to cultural immorality.
So we're like, because they haven't been sexed up, is that why?
No, it's because
then why do they have their virginity as a qualification?
Sorry, what?
I'm just asking I'm just reiterating, or I'm just asking what you said. Did you say that they spared them because they're not defiled sexually? They're pure. Is that what you said earlier?
Not subject to cultural immorality.
What does sex have to do with cultural immorality?
Because the culture didn't care about sex like that. So the point is that when Israel is separating themselves.
No. You're making a lot of like claims about the No. So the Midianites, this entire story is about race mixing. So like, I don't know what you're even talking about here. The immorality that you're talking about here is just Israelites were mixing with the Midianites, and God didn't like that. And so God had them wiped out, right?
No. That's the point. The wipeout part is what you're adding. He's continuing their generation, not continuing their immorality. Through the women.
No. He's not continuing their generation. He's integrating. No. Hold on. He's integrating the young girls into the Israelites. So he's not continuing like them. He's integrating them in and everything like that. So like and wiping out.
Like
yes, it definitely does say to wipe them out.
people.
Hold on.
Like, I don't.
Hold on. It does say to wipe them out. In 17, it says, now therefore
Yes.
kill every male among the little ones and kill every woman who has known a man by sleeping with him. It doesn't say kill every woman that's a slut and that is committed some kind of immoral thing. Like, that's not what it says. But has known a man by sleeping with him, that would be married women. It would at least include married women. It doesn't just... No, but you're making it about sexual immorality, and that you're doing the eisegesis here. You're not doing exegesis. I'm doing exegesis.
I said cultural immorality.
Wait. Then why? Then how come the only thing mentioned in this passage is, oh, you get to survive because of virginity? Why is virginity the only reason why the girls survived then? If it's not about sexual immorality, then why? No, don't even pay attention. Hold on. Let me just clarify because you're not understanding. The only reason why everybody died, except the little boys, is because of virginity, right? I mean, for the women's sake. The women died because they all, slutty, don't close their legs, yada, yada. The little girls are little, so of course they're not, doing all of those activities because they're young. So why did they survive and the women didn't? If it's not about sex or it's not about virginity.
It's about immorality. Like, you keep skipping over this.
Then how come nothing else? How come nothing else says immorality? Huh?
Because it's obvious throughout the whole Bible, huh? Like you're
wait. Then why is virginity a qualifier? Then why is virginity a qualifier?
The whole message.
All right.
Listen,
then why is virginity a qualifier?
No. God separates His people.
Did you see
from
though?
The culture
did you see
that
John?
Exists.
John, he got quiet for a second. It works. It's like a whole thing.
Yeah. No,
hey,
he
guys,
did. He did.
He did. He was like, oh, hello. Why is virginity a qualifier in this passage if it's irrelevant?
Are you not listening? I said
no.
God
We are listening.
His
You're not
people
answering.
And His culture from the culture that exists. Do you understand that?
What is cultural immorality in this particular situation? Because you keep mentioning cultural immorality, but what do you mean by that? What do you think these women have done that has been so bad that they deserve to be killed?
What are the people we're talking about? Were they moral people?
The Midianites.
Yeah, were they moral people?
It doesn't have anything to do with morality. It has to do with race mixing. Like, this entire section's about race mixing. How God doesn't like it.
Going back and forth. Are we talking about morality or are we talking about sexual impurity? Like, you keep going back and forth.
It says if a woman's been with a man, just like fucking kill them all. That's what it says.
No, it says to wipe out their culture because that is not the godly way.
It says kill all the women who've known a man. Who've known a man. Kill all the women who've known a man.
Do you think the Midianite culture was just fucking women? Like, that's what you think, that the Midianite, it was just orgies all the time, all the way up and down. It was just orgies everywhere is what you thinking this is about?
No, I'm not. This is what I'm saying. You guys keep putting so many words. Like, I don't understand where you're getting all this.
I'm trying to figure out what your problem is. And just to I guess maybe recenter us how we got here. We're trying to establish that Jesus is a total dick because Jesus is God, and Jesus in this situation called upon Moses to unalive all the males among the little ones and every woman who has just had sex, but then to take young girls as sexual slaves. And by any definition of sexual slavery, forcing young girls into marriage would be sexual slavery.
Slaves, brother. That's not in the Bible.
No, I'm not adding it. No, it doesn't have to
show
directly
me the
say
that it says that.
So you're accusing John of adding it, but you're over here saying, oh, no, it has nothing to do with virginity and has everything to do with being immoral. You add that, bitch. What the fuck are you talking about? How come you can add shit then? And then when John reads it just verbatim, he reads it verbatim and all of a sudden it's context and blah, 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 blah. And then when he reads it verbatim, you don't grant it. But when you make it up, we're just supposed to say, that makes sense. Huh? Kids
that's your problem and your lack of understanding. You think I'm making it up when what I'm saying is biblical? What you're saying is not biblical.
Little boys were still murdered in this passage. Little girls were taken as sex slavery in this passage. What do you say, Mog?
Are you kidding me? You heard what I said. They were culturally immoral. Period.
No. You haven't
They were
defined what
idolaters.
cultural immorality. No, you haven't defined what cultural immorality is.
I just
This
gave
entire
it.
section is.
Idolaters.
I'm sorry.
Idolaters.
We're up shit creek with one paddle at this point. Okay.
Idolaters is a cultural
Idolaters.
immorality.
This has nothing to do with it. The thing that God is punishing these people with is because they were race mixing with the Israelites. That's not idolatry. That's just God
and then
doesn't
that's
want
why
them.
I told you God separates his people culturally to be different.
Oh my God. Okay, so essentially, hold on. So essentially, we've established. Maybe we can establish this. Would taking a young girl and forcing her. Let's not even make it a young girl. Any girl. You take any girl, any woman.
Forcing.
Hold on. You take any girl out there, any woman, and you force them into marriage. Is that sexual slavery to you?
Where does it say force into marriage? Because yes,
I'm just asking you a question about defining sexual slavery. I just need you to define sexual slavery. I just need you to holy fucking shit right now. Okay, seriously, I've muted you. When I unmute you, Bondo, what I need you to do is affirm yes or no. Is taking a woman and forcing her into a marriage, regardless of whether or not she wants to be in the marriage, is that a form of sexual slavery to you? I need you to answer me.
Good Lord, of course it is.
Okay, so in this passage, Jesus has commanded Moses to take young girls and then distribute them to the Israelites so that they can then be married. And they did not ask for consent whenever they would marry them. In fact, the way that you married a girl at this point was you raped her. So that's just culturally what happened. And since you want to talk about cultural immorality all the time, that's what happened.
Was that?
Can we agree that Jesus is an immoral, evil dick at this point?
No.
How is that not immoral or evil?
Because you're attributing something that's immoral, which I agree is immoral, but then you're attributing it to Jesus as if he said that, which again, you haven't made your case that he said that. You keep adding forced, you keep adding culture, you keep adding things, but you're not telling me how you came to that fucking understanding. That's the point. It's just word salad, just yapping.
What do you mean? It's in your damn book.
Argue it in the scripture, not your opinion.
It's in your damn book.
Don't
what are you talking about? Have you fucking read it? Are you one of those I go to church and I let it? I bet your ass doesn't even know John 3:16.
Show me the passage where it says forced. Show me the passage where it says forced.
Hold on. One second.
Doesn't know John 3:16.
No, yeah, he doesn't. Now, so let me ask you this. This is going to probably get you banned from this show. But if a woman just doesn't say no, and you initiate some kind of sexual encounter with her, and she just allows it to happen because she can't overpower you, she can't stop you from doing it, is that rape?
No, of course not. What is this question?
No, of course not. If a woman just doesn't say no to you, that means that it's not that's not rape to you.
No, you said if a woman says no, but you still continue and doesn't have the power to say no, but you still continue. Yes, that's wrong.
No. I said that if it's very clear that the woman cannot stop you from having sex with her, and she acquiesces to the fact that that's going to happen, and she does not resist and she does not say no, but she also doesn't give any kind of form of consent, is that rape?
Yes.
I like how you said that in a very questioning tone there. Okay, so good.
Because I don't know where you're going with this, because the Bible doesn't say anything about this.
Well, yeah. So in this particular situation here, right? In this situation, would the girls have been asked for their hand in marriage?
In what situation? After their dispersed into
further
Israel,
on in 31, further on in 25, when it says that you divide up the plunder, meaning these little girls, to the Israelite warring men and to the general public, when they divvied them up to the men, do you think that they asked the girls, they got the girls' consent, like, hey, do you want to be the property of this guy?
Well, that's what I'm saying. You see how you're just adding into it? It
No, there's
doesn't
a
say
question that I
anything
was
like
asking
that.
you.
And if they chose,
Right,
if
I
they
was
are
asking
divvied
you a
among the
question.
men, then it
I
would
was
be the
asking
men
you
get
a
to choose. You ever seen a line
question.
of brides? And
Is my voice
like, I
not
don't
deep
understand.
enough?
I'm John, you might have to ask that question. No, it's a guttural thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense the line of questioning you're
Mondo,
going because you're
Mondo,
assuming
this
that it
is
has to deal
God.
with that.
This is God.
It's very strange.
Mondo, Mondo, do you think that women were asked for consent at this particular time in the Israelite culture?
When the voices drop, he gets so quiet. I think we literally give him like goosebumps. He like
Yeah.
literally gets chills.
Mondo, you there? What did we lose Mondo? Did he drop? And
Okay,
it's
sorry,
just
what
not
happened?
catching up. Oh shit.
Damn,
fuck.
damn, John, you took his breath away. Oh shit. He was
What
like,
happened?
oh damn. Hello? He
What?
goes, oh
I was
damn.
picking up food. Settle down. I was picking up food.
He goes, oh damn.
What's wrong
Do
with
the voice
you guys?
do that voice
Okay.
thing again. That was crazy.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I ignored it. After you said I am God, I just tuned off, brother. That's a weird thing
The
for you to
moment of
do.
silence was crazy.
So
Because I was grabbing food. Hello?
Mondo,
What?
did the Israelites ask women for their consent to marry them at this point in time in the Israelite culture?
Did the Israelites ask the women for permission
For consent
for marriage?
to be divvied up amongst the Israelite men?
Uh-huh. You're asking if they had permission after they were divvied up?
No. Did they ask the girls permission? Not that these young girls could give their consent, but did they even ask, like, hey, do you want to be owned by this Israelite guy? Do you think that was a conversation?
Well, that's what
happened?
I mean. You keep adding that. Why do you say owned
This
like
is
that?
a fucking question, Mondo.
Anywhere.
What the fuck? I'm not putting
Mondo.
anything in there.
Mondo, he's asking a question,
What are
so
you
we just have to
talking about?
answer
Yes,
the question.
are, because are we arguing what's in the Bible, or are we arguing just how you feel about it? Because that's what I'm not understanding.
I'm not saying what I feel. I'm asking you a question about how you understand Israelite culture at this time. God damn it.
Also, Guess is using Mog Mobile, in case anybody's wondering why it's crackling. Mog Mobile. Okay, why don't you just answer the question, Mondo? You got this, just answer the goddamn question! Jesus Christ.
I've been answering. This is what I don't understand. It's the answer that you don't want. That's the sad part. That's
No,
why you keep going
you're
on.
complaining.
Yes,
No,
the
you're
answer
complaining that
is-
I'm inserting. No, hold on, Mondo. You're complaining that I'm inserting things in. I'm just trying to understand how you understand Israelite culture.
I
So I'm
said you're
asking you
inserting
questions.
words. So
I'm
there's no force.
I don't see how
there's
that's
no slave. It doesn't say these things.
So you think that if we go in and we slaughter an entire town and then we kidnap small girls, this is in no way like forcing them?
I don't think you understand the preservation of life in immoral times. Do you understand that?
Mondo, what's your understanding of wives being owned as property at this point in time by God? Well, not by God, but by the men in the society. Do you understand that? Like, do you recognize that that's in the Bible? Like, that's not me adding anything in. It literally says it in Exodus 20:17 that women are property of men. So, like, yes. they don't ask permission of property, right?
That's where I said you're wrong, because no, it's the fact that when you become married, that's where the man takes the lead and you are property of that man. But it's not property in the sense of slavery. It's obedience in the sense of partnership.
Ew! Mondo fucking wishes he owned somebody. Jesus Christ. Mondo, you could never own a fucking woman. That's insane. Wait, so...
What do you...
So in Deuteronomy 21, where it says, we're giving you permission to go to war, kill her whole family, and then as you're stepping over her parents' killed bodies, you get to make her a prisoner of war. And then and then when you and if she's hot enough, you can take her as your war bride, cut her hair, shave her head actually till she's bald, cut her nails.
This is what I'm talking about. This is nonsense.
This is the Bible. This is verbatim the scripture.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
You have no
do you want me
scripture
to read
to
the
support
Bible?
what you're saying. Not
That's Deuteronomy 21, 10 through 13. He can read it. It literally says that.
yeah, read it.
The only thing I messed up on is when I said gave her a haircut. It wasn't a haircut. He full-fledged removed her hair.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
Read
So
it.
marrying a captive woman. Are you ready for this? This is going to blow your fuck. It's probably not. But so it says, when you go to war against your enemies and the Lord your God delivers them into your hands and you take captives, you would agree that is characteristic of these young girls in Numbers 31, right?
That
Would you agree that
taking captives?
that
You're saying captive. I have no problems with the word captive. Yeah.
of course you don't. So when God delivers them into your hands and you take captives, which would be these young girls.
That war was a thing and captives were a thing. Like, we're not talking about
I'm not trying to deny anything.
We're understanding history as what happened.
Holy fuck, Mondo!
Hey,
Jesus
Mondo.
Christ!
Turn the faucet off. We're just he's explaining the passage and he just wants to make sure that you agree that when it says we're stealing little girls in Numbers 31, when it talks about Deuteronomy 21 stealing captives or taking captives, that you agree that's the same thing because it's Israelites getting instructed to take people. And then you said, yes, I agree, it's the same thing. And then you started running your trap. So now we're going to listen to the rest of it. Now that we all agree that Numbers 31 is compatible, it makes sense with Deuteronomy 21. Okay, you agree, Mondo? So we're going to shut our trap and we're going to listen to the rest of it.
Yep, you're muted, so I'm just going to continue to read this section that you say is not in the Bible. But again, we're in Deuteronomy 21, 10 through 14 is where we're at. Starting in 11 now, since it definitely applies to Numbers 31. If you notice among the captives a beautiful woman and are attracted to her, you may take her as your wife. Bring her into your home, have her shave her head, trim her nails, and put aside the clothes she was wearing when captured. The ones that are blood-soaked from all the murder. After she has lived in your house and mourn her father and mother for a full month, then you may go to her and be her husband, which is synonymous with rape her. She shall be your wife. No consent is considered in this. If you are not pleased with her, let her go wherever she wishes. You may not sell her or treat her as a slave since you have dishonored her. So after you rape her, if she's not a good lay, you can just let her go wherever you want. So you can totally rape her and then let her go, and it's perfectly fine with God. Does that make God evil there, Mondo?
You just made your own reputation right there, brother. Thank God the scriptures tell you right then and there. You don't take her, you leave her, you let her be. You respect her, and that's it.
No. It's his choice if she gets tossed to the side. If he goes, oh, you gave me the ick, he throws her off to the side. It says you can't.
No.
I think it says you can't sell her again.
If she doesn't want to be with him, then she's free to go.
I'm sorry, Mondo. It doesn't say that, Mondo. It says if she's not a good fucking lay, then we're gonna toss her to the side like trash, Mondo. But if she's fucking hot,
my point. You gotta add your filthiness into it to make it filthy.
Mondo, show me. You know what, Mondo? Why don't you show me the verse where it says if she doesn't want to be in the marriage, she can leave. Go ahead and show me that verse where it says she doesn't want to be there. She has the choice to leave. Go find it.
Yep, it's 10, 11, 12, 13, or 14. Which verse does it say that she can refuse?
Which verse is that, Mondo? Which one? 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, whatever. Which one says she doesn't want to be in it, she has the right to leave? He just read it. That's not what he read.
I just said, read the last verse. What does it say?
The last verse, if you are not pleased with her, that's after raping her, let her go wherever she wishes. You must not sell her or treat her as a slave since you have dishonored her. Because, fathers can sell their daughters into sexual slavery. I'm sorry, at what point is God evil to you?
You keep adding this nonsense into it. No, the whole point is that after she has come to her understanding,
tell us verbatim what he added. Tell him verbatim what he added.
The slavery and the forcing. That's what you keep doing.
Wait. The forcing. So where does she consent when she's a captive? Captives that by definition can't consent. They're stolen.
No, captive in your understanding is, but captive in
so
in the
somebody on a
historical sense is not the same as what you're saying.
So if somebody came, shut up the fuck up. If somebody came in, murdered your whole family, and they stole you and they threw you in the back of a car with chains around your ankles and your wrist, and then some dude said he'd make a hot husband. Wait, hold on. That guy'd make a hot husband, brought you in his house, shaved your head, cut your nails, and then removed the clothes you were wearing. And then you were crying about your mom and dad, and a month later, he stuck himself inside of you. Mondo, does that sound like consent if that happened to you?
No.
Okay. That's exactly what happens in this verse there, Mondo.
Okay, so does it make it any less...
No, it doesn't.
Wait, because she has a vagine, does she like it more? I'm confused.
You see how dirty you guys have to be to make it dirty?
Wait, but like, hold on, Mondo. Evil. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry. This is gonna be a little graphic. When your ass is on the line, there's no consent, right? But if it's a vagina, oh, she likes it. Somebody's an Advent porn watcher. When the girl's like, yeah, I love all this weird shit you're doing that would not be comfortable for any normal woman. Is that just what you think vaginas are? Oh, because she has a vagina, she must like it.
Talk,
but if it's your ass on the line, dude, if it's your ass, you would not like it. So how come it's non-consensual if it happened to you, but if it happens to a vagine, it's consensual? What am I missing? Do girls like it more? Is that what you're implying?
You're missing the whole point of the story. You're just going off on your own modern day understanding.
How come it's non-consent when it's you in the story, but when it's a woman, it's consensual? Do you not respect women? Like, do you not view us as human beings?
Why don't you respect history and those who came before you?
Wait, but I just retold the story and I put your ass in the story, and all of a sudden it's like against consent. What changed?
What are you talking about? No, you're just talking random shit. Like, it has no bearing on what we're talking about. I just said,
Mondo, if you were in the story verbatim, would you consent to that?
I didn't listen. Because like I said, you're going off on nonsense. I shouldn't have to follow this random...
Wait, but Mondo, you did listen. You did, because you said I wouldn't like that very much if that happened to me. You were listening. You're pretending like you're like playing dumb now.
Because again, you're just yapping about nonsense. I want scripture. I want to hear scripture.
So we have been reading the Bible, right?
No, you haven't. Well, you have not been reading anything from scripture. I don't know what you're talking about.
What are you talking about? We've been reading the Bible the whole fucking night. What are you talking about?
He's the only one who's read from scripture, and then he adds his words in scripture, but you're not reading scripture.
What am I going to do? What am I going to scream? I'm not going to scream over John.
The whole chapter.
No, John, I want to read it. No, what do you mean, dude? It doesn't matter. We both have the Bible. We're looking at the same verses because he can read it. I can follow along. Doesn't mean we're not comprehending what he's saying. It's called reading comprehension, and it's called listening skills, Mondo.
It does lack comprehension when your reiteration of the story is nothing close to what was read. That's the point.
No. I mean, so what Born Again did was put you in the situation that marrying a captive woman in Deuteronomy 21 was in. I mean, I can reread the sentences and just put you in there so that it's just refactoring it for you, Mondo.
Great idea. Marrying a captive Mondo.
Marrying a captive Mondo. So bring him into your home, shave his head and trim his nails, and put aside the clothes he was wearing when captured, which would in this case be when your entire family was killed. And after he has lived in your house,
just read the text.
I did.
We're adding you in it.
Right. Yeah, you can read the text straight and just put my name in there.
Right.
It's called context, Mondo.
Jesus Christ, I'm giving you context
for... That's my point, yours.
But that's what he was doing.
That's what I was doing.
No,
the captured requires some parentheses around it so that you're acclimated to what it means to be captured. In this sense, it's not like you casually walk into a house and you just take somebody and they just let you do it. No, it's violently taking somebody, violently capturing somebody. So you're going in, you're killing their entire family, and then you're taking them. Right? Can we understand that as what it means by captured in this situation?
Do we understand it in the historical context? Yes.
Oh my God! Fucking Christ! Okay, so after Mondo has lived in his capturer's house and mourned Mondo's father and mother for a full month, then you may go and I'm adding something here to make it applicable to your situation, Mondo. Is you then may go and ass fuck Mondo, and you can be his husband, and he will be your husband. And if you're not pleased with his ass, then you can let him go wherever he wishes to. You must not sell him or treat him as a slave, since you have dishonored, and then in parentheses, his ass. So does that make it better, Mondo?
Yeah, so tell me where the equivalent for ass fuck and ass here that you're pulling from the text. What's the word?
You may go into her.
You may go into her.
Read the whole thing.
Yeah, it says then you may go into her.
And then she will be your wife, you will be your husband. He will go into Mondo. He will go into Mondo.
Where
be
do
his
people
husband.
Yeah, and so
it's either your ass or your mouth, Mondo. Which one is it?
Yeah, you have two choices, buddy.
Hebrew for that.
What's it gonna be?
Or the ear, maybe, I guess.
What is the Hebrew for
Dude,
into?
the ear if you're real freaky.
Text.
Oh, don't pretend like you fucking care about Hebrew, Mondo. Jesus fucking Christ. We have two other calls to get to. We have two other calls to get to. You're being disingenuous this entire time. We've established that Jesus is God, and God commanded these things, and God is a fucking evil dick. So, Mondo, I hope that you'll call in and talk to Matt,
light,
maybe.
Evil is dark. You lost. Goodbye.
No, I'm sorry. I hung up on you, Mondo. You did not win that exchange for sure.
The ass fuck. Mondo's gonna go home and fucking cry tonight. Oh, that's delicious. Thank you, John.
I mean,
I needed that.
I violated his sensibilities by talking about his ass getting fucked. I mean, come on.
No, bro, no. Oh my God. I just wish like Mogs could practice some empathy. Like I unfortunately I do have to get graphic like that. I have to be like, if you were the person in the story, you wouldn't like it, right? Oh, well, I would never be in the story. Well, you wouldn't like it though. It's all that matter. It doesn't matter if it's an impossible scenario. Practice that level of empathy the way you wouldn't like being in the story. Women don't like being in it either, just because we have vagines, you know? Practice that level of empathy, and I don't know. People won't hate you as much. I don't know. I mean, maybe I'll still find a way. Don't worry. If there's a will, there's a way. But that was funny. I do appreciate that, John.
Yeah. All right. So we do have a couple more callers to round out the night with. Next up is Matt from Canada. Let's see. Let's get Matt up in here. Hey there, Matt. How you doing? It looks like you want to know why we think God is evil. Do you still have that question after that last call?
I don't have that question anymore. I would like to change my question.
Okay.
If that's okay.
Go ahead.
All right. When did you guys consider God evil in your lives? At what point did you recognize for yourselves that, like, God must be evil? And how that came about?
Well, for me, it was, when I actually read the Bible, because growing up in my particular form of Christianity, it was definitely driven. It was definitely driven by like pastors and preachers and priests that read selected verses from the Bible and not actually reading the Bible for itself. And so once I actually read the Bible and the horrible shit in it, I was like, oh yeah, that's totally horrible. Why did God say that? I don't know. Born again. What are your thoughts?
Let's see. I would say I deconstructed politics, and then deconstructing politics led me to deconstruct heaven and hell. And from there, when I wasn't worried about burning in hell forever, I went, oh, okay, God's kind of a dick, right? And then I started learning about all of how God's evil, how he unalives. It was like, I saw a post once where somebody put the body count of God versus Satan. They said Satan's body count potentially 8 people. God's body count was like 3 million or 8 million. Something like that. And it just really woke me up. I was like, oh my fucking God, the villain that I've been afraid of my whole life. Kind of, maybe, potentially, I don't like killed 8 people, but even now, I think God probably was the reason why those people died. In the story of Job chapter 1. So yeah, realizing that God is the mass murderer was really crazy for my deconstruction. And shortly, I became an atheist shortly after.
Okay, so I'm really sorry. It's my first time tuning into your show. I saw this come up. I don't know your names. Forgive me. Can I just say the young gentleman and the young lady, for lack of knowing your names, and it's really hard for me to learn names.
I appreciate being called young.
Yeah, that's great.
That's okay with you guys. I have your consent to use these handles. That's fine.
I'm John, and or Godless Engineer.
John.
This is Born Again Atheist.
Yes.
Okay. So, John, you were saying that you became disenfranchised with the notion of God because of preachers that you experienced in your life.
No, that's not why that's not why I deconstructed. Why I deconstructed was I had somebody challenge me on my belief, like as a Christian. Like if I didn't believe in the Bible as literal truth from cover to cover, then I wasn't a real Christian. And so then I had to like figure out what I actually believed, and that's when I started reading things, and I realized that the God of the Bible is totally horseshit. But I mean that was a long deconstruction process that I went through. But the thing that disillusioned me from it to begin with was just a no true Scotsman fallacy that I can recognize now. So I mean that would be what disillusioned me.
Okay, I'm not familiar with that term. Forgive me, please. What you're referencing?
Well, so if you're illusioned with something, like you it's illusory. Like it's like I thought of God as this perfect being, and if I'm disillusioned of that, then the veil is revealed, and it's and instead of it being the floating head of Oz, it's just the asshole behind the curtain.
Okay. Can I make one point? So
totally.
God created all of life, right? So that makes him like
no.
Taking the for reference sake, okay, for argument's sake, okay. So let's just say for argument's sake, we take the word of the Bible and say God created everything, right? So like you, me, the plants, the trees, all this stuff, right? If he created everything and everything is meant to die, right? It doesn't sound like something God would intend.
Well, hold on.
Purpose.
Are we meant to die?
We are meant to die right now.
What was God's original intent?
That we have fellowship with Him. That we would be.
Okay, I'm going back to Genesis on this one.
Will.
No, I'm going back to Genesis on this one. Before the fall of man, was man meant to die?
Man's outcome is determined to death because of decisions that were made by man. Right.
So magically, man fucked things up, and now we suffer death.
Well, no. Let's use theoretically, okay? Please, not magic, okay? If that's okay with you,
I don't understand.
Theoretically, for argument's sake,
this is like the politest debate I think I've ever been in. This is really funny. This is so funny. Hey, is it okay? Is it okay if I like?
Mock. I really don't mean to mock.
Is it okay if I say something? Is it okay?
Sorry. Absolutely, please. Thank you.
No, go ahead.
No, go ahead, please.
Oh, he didn't pick up on it, John. Okay. And action.
Okay.
So
okay,
Matt,
well, I guess
Matt, continue with your justification for God, like in this situation. I mean, I feel like the way that you were going is you're saying, well, if God is the creator of everything and man is meant to die, then when God kills a man, then that's just God exerting his control over the thing he created. Is that the route you were going?
I was gonna bring it to the original intent for God was that we plan for us would be that we would have fellowship with him, that we would be free will beings that would choose him, right? So he creates a perfect environment for us to thrive in. He gives us the ability to understand and to walk with him in his creation, right? Where God can be walking with human beings without destroying them, because his presence is perfect. And if we as
Matt,
imperfect beings walk with him, we would be destroyed. So in the Garden of Eden, yes, sorry.
Matt, so since we're going with the Garden of Eden here, do you consider it evil of God to even place the tree of knowledge in a place where Adam and Eve could get to it?
The knowledge of good and evil. I'm sorry.
Right. Was it evil of God to place it in an easily accessible place for Adam and Eve?
Well, what happened? What happened? So
what had happened was
okay. So there's two trees. There's two trees in heaven or in the Garden of Eden, right? That are mentioned. Okay. There's the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, and the tree of life.
Mm-hmm. And then the fig tree that Jesus.
So since there's two trees, and we have free will, we can be tempted, right? Because we are God's creation, we have free will. Okay.
Wait, how is this an answer to my question? Matt, do you remember
hold on.
my question?
Let me get to it. Let me get to it, okay? So the tree of the knowledge of good and evil is chosen to be eaten, even though we're instructed not to. Okay? So if we're given free will and we choose to go against God, the creator of everything, we have set ourselves up to distance our relationship from him, right? To distance our
Is
our
it Matt? No,
him,
this is
right?
this is totally missing the mark. This is missing the mark on my question, Matt.
Okay, pardon me. I don't understand your question then. You're going to have to dumb it down for me then.
I don't know how I can dumb it down more, but is it the question is it evil for God to place the tree of knowledge of good and evil and let's just say the tree of life? Let's throw that one in there too. Is it evil of God to place those two things in an easily accessible area for Adam and Eve?
Well, because we have free will, we get to choose, right? So is it evil for God to give us free will? If he creates autonomous robots that are programmed to say, I love you.
So, okay, Matt, hold on. I'm going to give you over to Born Again. I'm going to give you over to Born Again Atheist here in a second, and you can contend with her. My thing is that I know that if I were God and I were constructing this area and I had a couple of things that I didn't want my little pets to like engage with, I would definitely not let's just say I had two lizards in a pen and I put like a poisonous bush, somewhere near them. I wouldn't put it square in the middle where my lizards could definitely eat from that bush or whatever kind of animal.
That tree,
I wouldn't put them in there.
Little bush has got.
The poisonous bush.
Right? Like it's.
Right. No. I mean, it's just a bush.
Leaves are shaped differently.
There was no warning. There was no warning sign put on those trees. There was nothing like nailed up to the tree or anything like that. I just sternly talked to whatever animals I'm putting in there. I'm like, don't you dare eat from this tree. It will kill you. And, but I put them directly in the center of it. Center of their habitat and everything like that. And I make it easily accessible for them. I think that would be evil.
Pets.
I'm setting them up.
We're not pets. We're not pets. We're people. We're human beings. We're made in the image of God.
You think we're not God's pets in the theology of
we're not God's pets.
Well, I'm gonna hold on. I'm gonna give you
God.
Okay, whatever. I'm gonna give you over to Born Again Atheist. I'm gonna let her run the gambit with you. Born Again.
Gotcha.
Sure. Okay. So if you sleep with the person and you think they're single and they have a nice job and they have a house and they don't have any kids and you have sex with them and then you figure out they have this secret life where they're married, they have 5 kids, They don't work the job that they said they did. Were you fully consenting to sleeping with that person?
You consented unknowingly. You consented to
Well, is that
without all
consent
the
then?
information available to you.
Well, then is that consent?
That's it. That's it exactly, right? So you have to be careful about what decisions you make in life, right?
No. Okay. So men with consent is they get so. No. I'm asking if that's consent. Can I fully consent to a situation and sleep with somebody when they lied about their entire existence? Am I freely am I using my entire free will? Am I freely choosing in this situation to want to sleep with them when I'm having missing pieces not told to me?
I don't understand how to answer that question.
I mean, are you fully consenting if they have a secret life you didn't know about before you sleep with them?
Okay, so going into a relationship, I would say I would make my intentions clear.
The answer's no. You can't consent if you don't know about their second life. Thank you. Who was that? That was crazy. So you can't consent, right? If you don't have all the information presented, you can't actually make a choice. You're not actually making an authentic, true to yourself, consenting choice. In the Garden of Eden, God super duper lied to them, and the devil was very transparent. The devil was the one that was fully transparent, told them the truth. They said, you won't unalive today. Why would God tell you? Because God said, you will get wrecked today if you eat that apple. Satan said, wait, you literally won't.
He doesn't say today.
It doesn't matter if he said today. He said, shut the fuck up. He said, you'll fucking die. Shut the fuck up, dude. Oh my God, you're so fucking nice to John. And then I open my trap and all of a sudden you got all this garbage pouring out. It's called listening. He says, you'll fucking die. Satan said, you're not going to fucking die, dude. You're not going to shut the fuck up. He said, you're not going to fucking die, dude. That's not what's going to happen. You're just going to know the difference between good and evil. And right now, God is putting a mask over your eyes, a veil of confusion, if you will. You can't fully understand what you're doing because God put a spell on you. And then Eve said, okay, period. I don't know what that means, but I'll try it because I don't understand anything between good and evil. Eats the fruit. They don't fucking die, okay? They don't fucking die. They live to be like 1,000 goddamn years old. They live to be 1 billion years old, right? I think Adam was like 940 years. So to say they're going to die was a fucking lie. Don't act like, oh, no, they died just like 1,000 years later. Shut the fuck up. That's a lie. Number two, he did not warn them about good and evil. He had no mention. He did not say, you'll have an understanding of good and evil. He lied about that. He did not say your birthing pains will suck. He did not say war was going to happen. Kids were going to get raped. He didn't say any of this garbage. None of this was presented to them. We're going to have natural disasters and disease and all this. None of that, mass shootings, none of that was presented. So he lied. They cannot consent to eating it when he did not tell them what was going to happen. And they didn't know the difference between good and evil, which means they had no understanding of what it meant to eat the fruit. So you can't say it's free will. They literally didn't know what evil was. So they couldn't understand what it was. It's the same. They have the same cognitive understanding as the lizards in John's analogy. Can the lizard know? Even if we say don't eat that, can they truly not know whether they can eat it or not? That's their cognitive understanding between Adam and Eve. They had no understanding between good and evil. And we know that because the second they ate it, it says they now know the difference between good and evil. And they realized being naked was wrong. So they had an understanding after. So Satan was honest. God was a fucking liar. You can't say free will when they were super deceived. And they didn't understand the difference between good and evil.
God never deceived them. Did
you not hear everything I said?
I heard everything you said. I don't know how to answer you. I don't know how to answer that.
It's kind of crazy when God. Do you think so? So you still maintain that God is not evil for doing this, though, right, Matt?
I think that God is the creator of everything, and that the God of the Bible, right, the triune nature of God, God the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit, is the creator of everything. Very loving, full of grace and mercy. Okay.
Psalm 7:11 disagrees, but.
Oh, okay. That's
Psalm
okay.
7:11 says, I'm a wrathful God who displays his wrath every day. So, I mean, that kind of goes against what you just said, but go ahead.
Right, he describes his nature too throughout the
And
Bible,
I will
right?
sharpen
Like,
my
it's not
sword,
just-
and I
it's
will
not-
bend
it's-
and
yeah.
string my bow. I will make ready my deadly weapons and pull my flaming sword on all you bitches. He didn't add the bitch part, but everything else he said. So this graceful, loving, patient, like that's definitely not displayed in the scriptures.
Okay, well, I'm gonna disagree, but I appreciate your
the word?
your candor.
Because that was a verse.
That was a verse. Okay, I'm sorry. What verse was it?
Psalm 7:11.
Psalm 7:11. Gotcha. If I may. Thank you for being so patient with me.
No problem. We're here for patience.
Okay, so
I think I cussed him out a
7.
second.
It's cool. It's cool. I appreciate your time that you're giving to me. Thank you so much. So 7:11, you were saying?
Psalm 7:11.
God judges, excuse me, the righteous, and God is angry with the wicked every day. Right? 7:11?
Right.
God judges the righteous, and God is angry with the wicked every day.
Wait,
right?
Psalm
So-
7:11. What are you like? Are you reading somebody's interpretation of the verse?
7:11.
Sounds like King James.
I'm sorry. No, it's King James. God judges
Okay,
the righteous, and God is angry with the wicked every day.
Right. The King James is really shitty. I would definitely get a different translation there, because that's a really shitty one. So it says right here, as far as the NRSV UE edition, it says God is a righteous judge and a God who has indignation every day. And then NIV says God is a righteous judge and a God who displays his wrath every day. So where's the mercy in showing his indignation and his wrath every day?
Okay, so well, to judge the righteous, right? From the King James, because that's how I understand it. Okay, that's what I have in front of me here. Okay, so if I can use that, we're talking about the same verse. It's just a different way of saying it. Yes. So he judges the righteous, right? So he says you are righteous.
Okay, but then it doesn't
saying
matter.
you're
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, it just shows that God's not graceful, loving, patient, right?
Kind of makes God out like a dick, doesn't it?
You're basically reading God will be okay with you as long as you fall in line. Okay, dick coded. What else is? Well, how else is that supposed to sound?
He has rules. He has rules.
Yeah, but then he's not graceful and loving. He's not all this fluffy stuff you said about him earlier.
Well, why is he? So your parents, they had you, right? You grew up.
And you know what's funny?
My
parents did raise me
discipline in your life as a child.
Well, he raised me in a cult, but they never used deadly weapons against me. Wait.
Oh, I'm grateful to hear that.
Hold on.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry that things might have been difficult for you. If
Matt,
they were. Yes.
Wait, huh?
Matt, do you want to know, like, do you value the Hebrew at all, like in this, or are you KJV, like that's Hebrew, what God meant?
It's written in 3 different languages, right? Aramaic, Hebrew, and Greek, right? So it's depending on which part of the ancient scriptures.
No, so for Psalm 7:11, right? It's written in Hebrew. Yeah. It's not written in Aramaic or Greek. Do you know? So the actual verb that's used here is za'am, right? Do you know what za'am literally means in Hebrew? You're gonna love this.
It might have several meanings.
No, it's got one meaning actually. It means to foam at the mouth, i.e., to be enraged. Can you imagine God? You're up there like, God is so loving and he's so merciful and everything like that, and God is up there foaming at the mouth like, oh. Fucking hate all those wicked fucks out there.
Well, he does. He hates evil.
Then
he doesn't let you judge as evil.
Then don't say he's a loving ass bitch when he's not. Like, at least can we just be consistent? Can he be wrathful or can he be fluffy love? He can't be both.
He's wrathful to evil and gracious and kind to merciful.
He's graceful and kind to those who obey him. I mean, you sound like it sounds like an abusive partner at that point. I won't hit you. You're making me do this, right?
Okay, I can understand that. Sure. That's not how I see it. My point is that there are
I see that, but that's not how I see it.
God has set up rules and boundaries, right? That
okay, but what if
we want to have a relationship with him?
Sure. What if there's a verse where there's somebody not doing anything and they're an innocent bystander at his wrath?
Somebody's standing somewhere, they're an innocent bystander? And I'm sorry.
So what if there's a verse that says, "Oh, innocent bystanders who did nothing wrong got brutally killed by this patient, loving God"? What do you think about that?
Okay, well let's take the story of Job for instance, right?
I don't want to do Job. I don't want to do Job. I don't want to do Job. I want to do because God didn't technically do it, right? Technically. I want God's fucking hand in it. I want him to use his wrathful vengeance for no reason, right?
Well, his will is done by the angels, angel of the Lord, right? Is usually what it's referred when
sometimes
actions are yes. So God the Father would be on the throne in heaven, right? And his will would be carried out by angels, right?
Wait, God's not omnipresent?
Pardon?
God's not omnipresent?
God's omnipresent, so God's everywhere at all times and he sees everything?
Right. How can
you asking?
I mean, yes, I am asking. Is that what you mean? Like, is that what omnipresence means? Right? Yes. I'm not the smartest person in the world. I'm happy to admit it. Okay.
Okay. Yes. That's what omnipresent means. You say that he's located on the throne in heaven, like it's a physical place.
Yeah.
But yet God is also everywhere. So it kind of seems like he can be on his throne in heaven, but also do shit on earth.
Right. So his throne is outside of creation, and he sees everything in creation, and he sits directly above his creation and watches it and cares for it and maintains it. God is omnipresent.
You mean kind of like somebody would do with like a terrarium for their pets?
Okay. With some lizards. Sure.
Yeah, sure.
Sure. Okay.
No,
okay. Thank you for putting it in ways I can understand.
Okay.
We're children of God. We're made in his image.
Oh my God.
We're not.
We're geckos of God. Okay. So in 2 Samuel 24, 1-17, that whole verse has innocent by. Ooh, here we go.
Okay.
Second.
Yeah, 2 Samuel 24. Gotcha.
Samuel.
Thank you.
24, 1-17.
Thank you so much. 1-17. Thank you so much for being patient with me.
I've worked with preschoolers, so. Anyway.
Okay, so I'm looking at it. Yes, please.
Okay. In that passage, it says, God said, David, I dare you to take a census, bitch. Go take account of your army, bitch. I dare you. And then David goes, okay, period. 1, 2, 3, a lot of them. And God says, fuck you! Fuck you! What the hell is your problem? Because of what you've done to me, bitch. You have 3 fucking choices. 3 years of being chased down by your goddamn enemies, or actually 3 years with famine, 3 months of being chased down by your enemies, or 3 days plague. Pick your poison, bitch. And then David went, oh, fuck me. That's crazy. I don't know. You pick.
Okay.
God picks a 3-day famine. Hold on. God picks a 3-day famine and then totally wrecks 70,000 soldiers. When David took a head count of them, 70,000 lost their life for doing nothing. So when you say, he is a wrathful God for the wicked, well, what did they do? They're not wicked. They're a part of God's army. 70,000 innocent men lost their lives.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Again, I would take time to study this specific and want more time to talk about it. Research this and read it for myself, but I don't want to make you guys do that, right? So,
but we've already researched it. Hello?
Right, and that's great, right? And I've read the Bible many times myself, right? Like I'm not as well versed as you guys apparently seem to be.
Ask a question.
Yeah. So your question is, because God is wrathful to evil, that makes him evil. Basically, is what you're saying.
No. Wait a second. What did in what Born Again Atheist read there? What exactly was evil about the soldiers that David?
Well, it says
the punishment. Okay.
Yeah.
No, I mean, yeah. So. Yeah. The soldiers weren't being evil. Apparently, David, pissed God off, and then God decided to punish David by killing other people. There's actually another story that I want to add on to it, but I don't want to interrupt Born Again's flow here.
Oh no, for sure. He already said he doesn't know it, and he doesn't want to ask us questions. So
okay, let me ask you this.
To ask questions. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
Do you want to ask Born Again some questions about that story? Like, do you have any questions in mind that you want to ask?
In this moment, I would just say no questions, but I would like to make the point that
John, I'm going to be honest, I wasn't listening. Next question.
Yeah, I know I'm scatterbrained. I know I'm scatterbrained. I'm a little nervous. Forgive me. You guys are really well versed on what your job is and what you intend to do. So like I'm unprepared. I didn't spend enough time preparing for you guys. I'm sorry. Yeah.
So no, you're totally fine. I do want to bring this one story up as just like an add-on to it. Something for you to ponder, really wrestle with, because I know that a lot of these stories for people, you got to really wrestle with these really difficult questions. This is going to be a difficult question for you to answer and really contend with as far as the Bible goes. So now, if you yourself, I don't know if you're married or if you have a girlfriend or anything like that, but let's say that you do.
Would you like to know?
I mean, it doesn't really matter for the question. Let's just say that you do.
Sure.
Right. If let's say you step out on your relationship and you you have sex with somebody else.
Yes.
Do you think that it would be a good thing or an evil thing for God to then punish you for that particular sin by having a man rape your wife?
That would be a form of punishment that is outside of okay, well, no, hold on. Let's see.
Is that justification? Like, is that justified? Like, do you think that that's an appropriate punishment for you? Like, cheating on your wife is to have a man violently rape your wife?
I would say the evil is on my wife, and it's my responsibility that she had it. It happened to her. If that was the reason why she was raped, because of my infidelity, yes, it's my fault. I bear that burden. No, it's not fair.
So
for
I
her.
don't. No. What I said was, is that really a justified punishment for you? Like, is that? Like, for anybody, let's say you're in a feudal system and you step out on your wife, and the king then forcibly, has men rape your wife because you cheated on her. Is that a justified punishment for you? The silence. Come on.
Yeah, no, I'm not trying. I'm trying to think.
Can't say bad things about God, but this verse sounds fucked up.
it's a difficult question to answer.
This is not. So this is the difference. No, see, I'm so sorry, but this is the difference between me and you there, man, is because I don't have to, I don't have like I have a 0-second response time when it comes to this. If Born Again were to ask me this question right now, I'd be like, no, that's a fucked up thing to happen. That's not justified. That's a fucked up punishment. That's an evil system right there. But you seem like I prefaced with this entire situation. You're gonna need to wrestle with this answer that you're giving here, and I knew that you were gonna have to wrestle with it. You can't just condemn this as the evil action that it is, but in fact, it does happen in 2 Samuel 12, 11 through 12. Do you want me to do you want to know what that's about?
Go ahead.
It's about when you remember when David, slept with Bathsheba.
Yes, I do.
Okay.
To say it precisely, I couldn't, but yes, I'm familiar. Yes.
Okay. His punishment was that God was going to have men violently rape David's multiple wives and concubines, and he was going to have to sit there and watch it happen.
8 wives and 10 concubines, to be exact.
So do you think that God is still
and
good?
Their daughter and his daughter, sorry.
Oh yeah, and his daughter. So do you think God is good, or that's a good justified punishment for David sleeping with Bathsheba?
I don't think the answer is in a way I can give it to you satisfactory.
I mean, I kind of feel like the only response to this is like pure disgust and saying like, no, that's fucking wrong. Like, what the fuck is that story in the Bible?
You're asking me questions in a way that I've never been able to I've never heard before. You guys are really angry with God. You guys are really angry at God.
There it is.
Yeah,
I'm not angry with God.
You guys really dislike him.
I'm not angry with God. What I mean, this is a story. Like, I'm not angry with God. Like, I'm a little bit angry and perturbed by you because you're the reason why women choose the bear. But
I don't know how to answer this. Are you church hurt?
This is a hard one. Who hurt you in the church for you to read the words off of the fucking page like this?
Wait, you read the fucking Bible? Fuck you. I'm over this bullshit. No, I don't read the Bible.
Do you want me to read the verse to you there, Matt?
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, it says, "Thus says the Lord, I will raise up trouble against you from within your own house, and I will take your wives before your eyes and give them to your neighbor, and he shall lie with your wives in broad daylight. For you did it secretly," meaning with Bathsheba, "but I will do this thing before all Israel in broad daylight." So not only was it in front of David, but it was also in broad daylight in front of all of Israel too, that the Lord specifically said, "I will raise up trouble against you from within your own house, and they will rape your wives," in broad view of everybody. So like they just all let it happen, and God caused it to happen. Does that make God evil?
In the way that you frame it, yes. Because
in the way that I read it off of the fucking page. I read it from the Bible.
With your own perceptions and opinions, and
you exaggerated your voice a little bit. Can you make it sound like? Can you put like happy music behind it? I mean, you manipulated it by reading it like that. You read it to church hurt.
Does it? Yeah, too much church hurt.
You read it. You read it with a church hurt voice.
Okay, I understand what you're saying. Yes. All right.
Maybe. Okay. Here, I'll read it.
I don't know you as people. I don't know you as people. Right.
I'll read it. I'll read it in your native tongue. I'll read it in your native tongue of Old English. Thus saith the Lord, behold, I will raise up evil against thee out of thine own house, And I will take thy wives before thine eyes, and give them unto thy neighbor. And he shall lie with thy wives in the sight of the sun. For thou didst it secretly, but I will do this thing before all Israel and before the sun.
So a little background noise to help him understand a little better.
Yeah. What did that help with the passage? Did my tone of voice magically make God not a dick in this situation?
No. It doesn't.
Okay. Yeah. So it kind of seems like it wasn't the way that I was reading it or anything that I was putting on it, because I was just reading the words, right?
You just read it.
Sure.
So it kind of seems like if you're literate and you actually read the Bible, it kind of makes God look evil, right?
I disagree.
What's not evil about this section?
The results of that didn't really happen though, right? Like they weren't given over, right? Like I could do this to you, right? Like
no,
this
they
is how
did.
it would
No,
feel.
no, they did do.
This is
God did do this.
This is what your betrayal makes me.
This is not my betrayal. I literally I read it even in your native tongue of Old English.
I meant David's, right? Like God saying unto David, like, okay, like this is what you've done. This is how offended I am by your actions, right? This is how.
No. I mean, you did. Yeah, he did it in secret. Like he secretly cheated.
Right.
Which it wasn't even cheating on. Can you really call it cheating? Because like he had multiple wives and concubines and all that kind of stuff. Like if he could have just taken another wife, I think the problem was that he had to kill Bathsheba's husband on the front lines first in order for it to like happen, or at least attempt to. So like,
yeah.
And then God kills a baby. He does a post-birth abortion.
Yeah. I'm sorry. He doesn't want for abortion.
He did a post-birth abortion in 2 Samuel 12.
Okay.
Yeah, he killed the baby, right? And then shortly after is when all the wives and the daughters and the concubines started getting raped, right?
Okay.
So God said, "I'm going to do it."
Yeah.
Right. So God caused that to happen. God had that happen.
That's what it says. That's what it says. Sure.
Okay. So God caused that to happen. If I let me put this out of the God context, because maybe that'll take away the special pleading that's might be going on in your head. If I were to go out and have a gang of my godless thugs, like rape a whole bunch of women related to one guy that pissed me off, right, for whatever reason, what would that, if I had my gang of godless thugs rape women, would that make me evil?
Yes.
Okay. Now put God in that situation. If God has a bunch of thugs go and rape a bunch of women,
see what you're saying. Yes.
Thank God.
That would be perceived as evil
now, right?
That would be perceived as evil, yes. Right, but
wait, hold on. You added a word there, perceived as evil, as if
snuck one in there.
Right,
he snuck it in there. Thought we weren't paying attention, did you?
No. I'm not trying to trick you. I'm really not. Right.
That would be perceived as evil.
I'm saying perceived because I'm focusing on what you're saying rather than looking at scripture, in the Bible. So like I'm trying to listen how you guys talk, right? So like, I'm sorry.
Okay. No, sorry. We're trying to process what you're saying here, because it doesn't make a lot of sense. To us. So
I understand that. So yes, it's evil for you to tell your godless friends to rape somebody, and it could be seen as evil. Yes, if
take it a step further. He figures out some type of like hypnosis, and he makes them rape people. So it's not that he says you should do it. He's like literally puppeteers them to go do it.
right? But like, I would say that God doesn't try to deceive us, right? He's going to tell us the truth, and there's consequences.
I don't, hold on.
Right?
Okay, but how does this factor into what we're talking about right now?
I don't know. It's just the way my brain thinks. Yeah.
Okay.
If you guys are done with me, you can let me go. That's okay. I understand. But I'm willing to keep going if you are.
Okay.
I
mean, we do need
not getting satisfactory answers.
No, I mean, yeah, we're totally not getting satisfactory answers because you can't come to the realization that God is evil for raping women
I would say,
and everything like that.
You think God is evil. You think God is evil, and I can understand why you think God is evil. Yes.
Is it still the church hurt thing?
The church hurt thing?
Well, yeah, you said that we're angry at God because we're church hurt or something like that earlier. So I'm wondering if that's still the excuse there.
No. I was just trying to understand, like, who you are as people when I ask you the question.
So do you understand that neither Born Again or I are like hating God? We're just reading words off the page in the Bible, and then we're coming to a moral conclusion about it, right?
Because you realize, like, we're atheists, so him as a deity, like, we're not pissed at, but I can't speak for John. I am pissed that 2.8 billion people follow him because he is so destructive and evil. That does piss me off. And Christians are real. Right. So I think this is why these conversations are important, because Christians are real and they like the pro-rape God, right? But God himself, he's not real, but he's written as a fictional character in a real book, right? With fake story, a fictional book, I should say.
Okay, so the only verse I can point to that I can remember specifically spoken of about rape is that if a man rapes a woman, he is to be put to death. Okay.
Oh,
that's God's law.
Oh, wait. No,
right?
You mispronounced it. It's if a man rapes a woman who belongs to another man, he's put to death.
Yeah. Do you know what God says about the commandment that God gives just after that?
It says in Deuteronomy. It's in Deuteronomy. Right. If a woman
22.
If a woman is by herself,
right,
and she calls for help.
A betrothed woman.
The man takes advantage of her.
No, but she has to belong to somebody else. That's the important part.
Right, yeah. It says betrothed there, Matt.
Okay, betrothed.
Sorry, she has to be owned
rape is
by
rape.
another man.
Rape is rape. Rape is rape. It doesn't matter if she's married or not. Like, if a man rapes a woman, he needs to be put to death.
If they're married.
If they're married. If a woman is raped, the man is to be put to death.
If a woman who is betrothed to be married calls for help and screams and nobody's there to help her, she's not punished, only he's punished, right? But what's the next verse?
Oh boy, again, like I'm just going off memory. I couldn't tell you the whole verse.
So the next verse said, if she's single, he gets to keep his rape victim.
Is that exactly what it says?
You want me to read it?
The Deuteronomy.
Yeah,
what chapter of Deuteronomy is that?
Make sure you read it in Old English so he understands.
Oh fuck! Okay, hold on.
You.
Let me read
Deuteronomy. Go ahead.
Okay, so this is Deuteronomy, and we're going to be starting. Let's see, on verse 28, and this is going to have to be the last thing that we kind of cover here because we do need to go. But
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, so it's Deuteronomy 22, starting in verse 28. It says, if a man finds a damsel that is a virgin, which is not betrothed, and lay hold on her and lie with her, and they be found, then the man that lay with her shall give unto the damsel's father
50 shekels of silver, and he shall be his wife, because he has humbled her. He may not put her away all his days.
You unlocked something in his brain. That was crazy.
A man shall not take his father's wife.
It was the Old English. That was crazy.
Yeah, I'm glad that you finished that. So now it makes
Well,
a very
I was
specific.
getting lost between reading verses and trying to listen to you guys talk, so that's why I was getting confused with easy, right? Because I'm trying to find the reference in the Bible, right?
Right. No, I get you. That's fine.
Yeah.
I get you were a bit overwhelmed. That's fine. So
Yes.
it's very specific. If the girl is a virgin, not betrothed,
Yes.
and he rapes her in a field, then he's not punished other than he has to pay a fine and he has to take her on as his wife for the rest of his life.
Mm-hmm.
So the victim has to marry the rapist.
Because she doesn't belong to anybody else. She's not owned by anybody else. So he didn't defile anybody's property.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so this is another one of those verses I think that maybe you need to wrestle with. I mean, it's an easy answer for me on this, but I'm just kind of like not a red flag. So I mean, I just would totally wrestle with it, talk to your priest about it, ask him what he thinks about raping women, and maybe call back sometime.
Wait, and don't be surprised when he gives you his horrendous answer.
Well, thanks for taking the time to talk to me, guys.
Yep, no problem, Matt. I appreciate you.
Yeah, you all have a good night.
All right, see you later, Matt.
Bye.
Take care. Bye.
Bye. All right, so we do have super chats to get to. If you we will be interacting with any super chat over $5. If you want to ask Born Again Atheist or myself a question, please do send in those super chats right now, $5 or more, and we will be reading and interacting with them. I'll go ahead and start, but then what we do is we swap up, so you'll read one after I do. Okay.
Okay. It's a little small on my screen, so I can't see the text.
Oh, okay. I can read them. Then if it's a little too small for you,
sorry.
No, that's fine. So we've got $10 Canadian from Puriform 42 says, quote, incoherent coherence is justifiable in classical theism. But what I mean is omni, but not. See, you have to understand that Sky Daddy is the uniquest of the unique. Science and logic. Buzzwords.
Love it.
All right. Oh. Did you want to try to read it? Or no?
So it's tiny, teeny, like.
Oh,
like
okay.
Super
Can you
tiny.
make it full screen on your Zoom?
Oh, yeah, you can pin. So if you choose Lux's view up there, you can do the drop down and pin it.
Okay, I didn't know if that was going to disrupt because I've kind of been seeing myself in a tiny box with the little text. Okay, cool.
Oh, okay.
For the $5 from Pibbled Punk, it's possible that a maximal great being exists. That's an unjustifiable assertion with multiple layers of baked-in assumptions and undefined terms. Yeah, that is so true. Gosh, that's hilarious. What do you think about that, John?
Yeah, I mean, typically Philbro apologetics regularly depends on unjustifiable claims and vague statements about either God or anything like that, and then when you try, and essentially nothing. It's built upon nothing. So yeah. $5 from Legally Mod, who says logical arguments aren't magical incantations. You can't logic a God into existence, and proving a God exists doesn't mean it does.
$5 from Lady Gayer. Boma, always making me laugh at these Mog Bros. Love Mother. Hello, Mother. Welcome. I appreciate you.
For those of you that don't know, Born Again is known as Boma on her TikTok lives and everything like that. That's kind of like an alternate name for her. $4.99 from Redheaded Trouble. Hi guys! Shout out to my amazing Queen BAA. You're killing it. Love seeing you on the line. Heart.
Sweet. That's sweet.
Yeah,
I appreciate you.
Redhead was actually up on my live earlier, and she had a lot of great insights for the people we were talking to. So she's awesome.
Oh, I'm obsessed. I love it. 4.99 from Los24. Hit the road, Jack, and don't you come back no more. I like it. Get the hell out of here.
$5 from Joshua Everett, who says S7 Mumbly Logic says impossible gods exist and no possible worlds which doesn't exist. And I sound smart. No takesies backsies. So neener. That's definitely what it sounds like.
It does. They like record themselves, I swear. 5 from the Fuzzy Logic. Jack is an insufferable Phil bro. At least one possible world. Therefore, he is an insufferable Phil bro in all possible worlds. Necessarily. I like it. That's the Phil broing I can get behind. I love it.
$5 from Ashray84, who says someone needs to remind this asshole Greg this isn't his show. Play by our rules or move on. Period. Yeah, a lot of people like to think that they can control whenever we do like lives and stuff or call-in shows. They like to try to control it.
Oh, 100%.
Very funny when they try to talk over the host and it's like, we can just mute you.
You know we have that ability, right? Quit muting! Another 5 from Josh Everett. Drop these Phil bros ash hats. Oh, I guess ass hats. If they're not going to engage. Thank you for the censorship, but it's YouTube, so I'm going to say ass hats here.
$5 from Mystic Mind Analysis, who says, I am an NB who loves fantasy, mythology, fiction, reflects our ideas about reality. None of this needs to be true to be worth something. # Team Baphomet.
Oh, I love it. That's so sweet. 10 from Puriform. Bible libel equals BornAgainAtheist 2026. Love it. Bible libel. God, they love saying the Bible's made up. Isn't that crazy?
5 from Joshua Everett says, Dear mortals and peasants, my 2 favorite non-gendered forms of address, stop being creepy in the chat. The line chat is not a dating service.
I'm obsessed. 5 from Joshua Everett. Going craziness. P1, I'm a dummy. P2, therefore God. Who the hell is Joshua Everett? Dude, they're fucking funny.
10 Canadian dollars from Peer Reform 42 says Jesus is God's woke filter.
Fuck yeah. 10 from Zet. Compulsory love is an odious concept. Try telling your partner I love you, but I have to say it. It invalidates what is most precious and human about us. I don't need anybody to tell me who to love. Period. Exactly. It's craziness.
Yeah. True. $5 from Alishana Silverbow. Yahweh likes virgin girls. He must be on the Epstein list. I can guarantee you Yahweh was on the island. Like, dude, he definitely was.
Oh, yeah, he's a freak, dude. $9.99 from Dan Blair fam. We love you, Boma. Ah, damn, I appreciate you. Hexish Mexis.
$20 from Amun Ra WM5KC, who says favorite chapter of the Bible, Numbers 31. Jesus God is a monster. I totally agree. I think that we pretty well established the whole Jesus God connection there with Numbers 31.
Oh, 100%. 10 from Mr. Pronounced Borica. Roll the R in a teensy bit. Mondo, disgusting, irritating, dismal, repulsive, mealy mouth, immoral, irredeemable, putrid, hootul, and pestilence. Damn, you have it in for Mondo, and so do we.
Yeah. $5 from Coffee Mom, who says, the point is, you can't force Mondo to see girls and women as actual human beings with rights and autonomy. Not ever. Yeah, it's always disgusting when they do that, right?
100%. 5 from Melatonin. Al, like the Lady Gaga song, Alejandro, Mondo's flabbers were all the way gassed and his pearls firmly clasped with all the profanity. Oh, I love the Mondo hate.
$5 from Zetsunawa. More born again atheists on the line. That is all.
Oh, that's really sweet.
Yeah, everybody seems to love you, so I think that's a pretty good sign.
Yes, I love it. 5 for Mr. Bornica. Howdy, BAA. I love this disconjointed yet structured spice that you put forth. Thank you. I wish to see more of it. Also, Matt, you're dishonest and it hurts. I appreciate your kindness. Matt does make us hurt. Yes.
5 pounds from Jessica 87, maybe Jessica 87. Seriously, we need BAA to be a regular host. You are fucking awesome and hilarious. I love you, John. You're all right too. Discord lives matter. Go fuck yourself, Jimmy.
What? Oh my God. 10 from 010 Zach. I, Mondo, and Mats are frustrated with all y'all's commentary added when reading the verses. They haven't read it and they don't have a Bible to follow it. They really don't. They think all the bad things are added in commentary. For real, it's crazy.
Yeah, as if like just I feel like they like how it's a bit softened by the actual scripture instead of putting it in a more modern context, and they just really don't like it when that happens. $20 from Truth66I6F, who says having believers understand their immoral beliefs is how we improve the world we live in. I agree.
Good perspective. 20 from Randy Clark, 4026. God lied to Adam and Eve. They were always going to die. That's a good point. That's why God kicked them out of the garden. So they couldn't eat from the tree of life and live forever. Genesis 3:22 through 23. The serpent told the truth. Damn, you ate with that. No notes. Shit. God was like, fuck, my plan's gonna be spoiled.
$5 from Alashana Silverbow says, Born Again Atheist. I've watched a few of your streams and enjoyed them, but prefer not to watch on my phone. Are you ever going to start streaming on YouTube?
That's a good question. We do a lot of things called Zoomy breaks. So I have like coven songs, like where if it sounds like your username, I play a song under it that matches your username. So because of copyright issues, I can't directly do that. But I might make some time to do separate streams that are maybe during the day. So yeah, that'll be a possibility.
$10. Oh, crap. It's your turn. That's my bad.
Oh, okay, no problem. 10 from AMG Pilot. Oh my God, I love Born Again Atheist. She's amazing. Jimmy Snow needs to ensure she is a regular host on the line. That is so nice, guys. I really appreciate your kindness. It makes me smile. I appreciate you.
Yeah.
Last one.
Last one. 10 Canadian from Pure Reform 42. I would like to support the more born again hashtag more born again atheist. You were amazing. You were both amazing this evening and worked too wonderfully together. Love the line. Thank you so much, there, Pure Reform.
We did work together, John. We worked well together. Guys, I appreciate your kindness. That is so, thank you for welcoming me in this space. Honestly, The Line is a show that I've watched for such a long time and helped solidify my atheism. To be on here means the world. And John, and Lex and Casey, you guys have been so kind to me. I do appreciate you guys.
Yeah,
actual last one.
Yeah.
Thanks, Lex.
Do you want to read this one?
$5 from Melatonin Al. Another one for BAA to be a regular host. Heart emoji. I love to see her on Chewed Gum. Oh, thanks. That's so sweet.
I have to say, Chewed Gum is one of my favorite shows that are here on the line, just because you get such a mixture of different callers to call in. But loved having you on Born Again, and I definitely would like to have you on again. Everybody seems to love you, and yes, I think that we work pretty well together. I know the one or two times when I've been up on your lives, we've done pretty well there. So I see one more just came in, $5 for BAA. So you got a lot of support there in the comments.
Our IT bad guy. Thank you. That is so kind, guys. Yeah. The way you are just treating me with kindness, and of course supporting John and the Lion and the Godless Engineer. You guys are the reason why, like, I truly think Christianity is gonna freaking disappear. I'm manifesting it, and deconstruction is gonna be on the rise. Let's manifest. So thank you guys. Your support is why deconstruction, is doing well, I think. So thank you for being here.
Yeah, totally. Now, thank you everybody for joining us tonight on this Saturday. Again, we have a full slate of shows coming out tomorrow, so definitely tune in. Starting at 1 p.m. with the Sunday show here on the line. Other than that, I will let everybody go. Y'all have a fantastic rest of your weekend, and I will see everybody later. Don't forget to stand up, use your voice, and all that kind of great shit. Bye, heathens.